Hello. Welcome back.
I did not consent to this.
Consent. Consent on camera.
I Zug of the clan Orc, consent to my recording. Why am I so blurry?
I don't know. Welcome back to our next episode of Curse of
Glare.
Milovosh.
No.
No,
No, it's
you have Danica.
Curse of the Coffin Maker.
You didn't speak with the coffin maker yet.
No,
we were going
It's
to.
usually the last person that you spoke with, which maybe was Danica in this case. Did you say Clara?
Said glare.
Danica, who's the barmaid, might be the last person you guys spoke to.
Yeah, did we just go to bed after that?
Yeah, you guys did. So last time, who would like to recap events from last time? Who took good notes?
Actually, I think I put a huge dump of notes in the Discord channel, but you guys haven't won because you're not.
What
you don't
Discord
actually
channel?
use Discord. I added you
channel?
to it. It's in Nanomachines. There's I've been
Wait, we stopped using Discord?
no, we still have that. There's just I put down the groundwork for us to kind of organize it in the server. So in Nanomachines, there's a Curse of Strahdani.
Did you invite us?
Well, I tried to, but you don't use Discord. So literally have an alert from me.
Oh, I thought it was about not wearing armor. See,
It was, but
Did you get
I
that?
I
Did
know that
McKenna
you
get an
don't look at
alert?
it, so I have
Did you invite
I
her?
think I did.
I
I'm
think
pretty sure I've seen it. It
her-
was a big old
But
gorgeous.
we already have notes in our sweet Google Doc.
I-
Yeah.
It's been pinned to our Discord this entire time.
I'll show you what I'm talking about here. We got
Alright.
text and tones, we got characters, we got maps, we got recaps. Here's my, you want me to read out my recap?
Yes.
Let's read out the recap. Yeah.
Should I do it in Kane's voice?
Yeah. Do it in Kane's voice.
Turns out the child is possessed by a demon with no name. It reveals itself within the child in the attic, and after fighting briefly, it seems that the party may be no match. Conventional weaponry and witty insults did very little to damage it. Syndra seems to recognize this demon and has a brief vision of a locket. Has a brief vision of a locket. Knowing that this must be its weakness, she vanishes under the floor hatch with a whisper to Kane of her intent. Finally, Kane attempts a radiant spell, which manages to weaken the demon enough for it to offer the party information in exchange for its life. The party listens, and we learn that the demon is actually the same demon that Syndra once burned. It came from a dark god named Vampire. The same dark god that is apparently using Strahd as his champion or conduit in order to maintain its control over Barovia. It becomes apparent that Vampire is the true source of problems here. After learning this, Kane agrees that the demon has thus far held up its end of the bargain, and after a discussion with Ramis, agrees to allow it back into the locket that is its home and anchor in this realm, as it requested. Syndra meets the rest of the party while they're on their way down and presents the locket that she received from Miss Vasco.
Velasco.
Velasco? Whatever.
Tabasco.
While the demon is marginally unhappy with the
Yes.
puncture damage, it returns to the locket. Kane asks Syndra if she would like to keep the locket for herself, and after accepting it, considers wearing it before deciding against such and putting the locket in her bag. The children, true to the demon's word, are released. While tired and obviously psychologically scarred, they seem to have been spared an early death. We learn that Henrik, the coffin maker, hired Milovosh to steal the bones that the party has been looking for and bring them to him. Milovosh claims that he did it to support the orphanage as best he could. The party knows that this ordeal is punishment enough and turns to leave as Miss Velasco stops them to offer the party 2 healing potions that were intended for the boy for freeing them from the demon. Henrik, the coffin maker, has the bones, and with the Holland Festival beginning tomorrow, the party decide to return to the inn and get some much-needed rest. Zug finds, to his utter horror, that the wine supply has waned. While truly an awful day for poor Zug, with no alcohol to numb themselves to the pitiful reality they have come to accept, the townsfolk seem to be in even worse spirits than before.
It's pretty good. Yeah. All right. That's
On.
good. Yeah. So essentially, you fought a demon. It gave you some info. You also didn't quite mention something that you did at the end of the night, which is reading a book.
I did. The Sisters 3.
Mm.
Yeah, he read a book called The Sisters,
The Ladies'
Three, not the Sisters Three, the Ladies Three. And yeah, found out some interesting information that is in texts and tomes. Yes. And you learned a little bit about, yeah, there's some text in the channel about the Ladies Three, which is great. You also put in some information about dark powers, including vampire. You learned something about a dark god called Fekri and a dark god called Delbin. Star of hatred. Yeah.
Dear God.
Yeah. So, so that's basically what you guys learned. And you guys went to the inn to sort of hang out. Yes, Zug learns that, unfortunately, that the wine supply seems to be waning, and that could be part of the reason for why the townsfolk are even sadder than normal.
They're pretty sad.
We should have
Yeah.
handled that much more.
The wine, being the lifeblood of Barovia, is the only thing that these townspeople have left to live for. And with its just supply dwindling, there's less and less to live for at
Once
this
the
point.
wine is gone, the hope is gone.
What's the
Life.
point?
Must have
Wine
been
is kind of like the hope of Barovia.
Liquid
so.
hope.
liquid hope.
Alrighty. So we will start today. We'll start this day off with the party waking up from the Blue Water Inn, and waking up around whenever you guys want to wake up, morning-ish, maybe 10 o'clock. Gets it a long day. Get some extra rest in there. And deciding what they're going to do for the day.
Well, my agenda just says the word wine on it.
Wine.
Oh, there's an H in there. Never mind.
You can minimize everything else and mute every other category.
Zug grabs his number 2 pencil eraser and just
No, it just says W-I.
now it just says W-I. W
I can't
space
read.
I. I can't read this. He throws it out the window, lights it on fire.
That seems like a very sad thing to do.
Soak it in non-existent wine.
What I'm. Yeah, what are you guys getting up to this morning? Talk to me about what you're gonna do, talk to each other.
I know that Ramis was curious about visiting some of the town shops before we begin fooling around today.
What's our sleeping bed arrangement order? Which rooms are included?
Generally speaking, at the Blue Water Inn, you are awarded the general room. The staterooms are sort of reserved for paying guests. So the general room,
Does it matter that I have by popular demand or whatever, which means like most inns just give me like special lodging?
I mean, you get free lodging.
That's pretty special.
It's pretty special. So they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do me up nicely because I have that and they like me.
They might if there were no other patrons that were staying. Tonight there were.
Did they tell me? Did they like apologize? So they say, sorry, Mr. Ramis, your normal accommodations aren't available. We
Sorry, Mr. Golden.
sincerely.
Did you speak with
Apologize.
Danica?
I was talking to her last night. She didn't even tell me. So I would have walked upstairs in my normal room and been like, what the
Why is a
fuck
lot?
is this?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can talk to her about that this morning if it's something you care about.
Rooms care.
Okay.
So where did I sleep?
In the main room that has many cots.
That's disgusting. So Ramis didn't sleep much last night.
Okay. Do you want to sleep a little bit more? Because it might be important that you get your rest today.
No.
Okay. Ramis is tired. How about the rest of you?
Zug is still in despair over the dwindling wine supply.
Yes.
I spent my time working on my spell.
Yes. RP time, a little bit of spell book. Digging into. And sword practice.
What is Sindra doing?
She's
Still mulling over the events of yesteryear.
probably still not feeling great, but
Just staring a hole in the wall, thinking about
Yeah,
stuff and
fair enough.
things.
I think Ramis hasn't been able to sleep, so he's probably
is
just
any
like
of the
sitting upright in his bed,
is any of the
strumming, like singing the ladies sleeping. And he's like, the ladies sleeping. He's like trying out.
he's trying out his new song,
Yeah.
The Ladies 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone asked Sandra about what happened? You guys have no idea.
We
I
just-
think they do have an idea though, right?
Kid went crazy.
I don't know how much they know.
She explained some of it beforehand, but I didn't take notes on everything that Sindra said, so I don't know exactly what we know.
But we don't know her particular reaction to that child, but it was also like we didn't get much of a chance to notice it.
Yeah,
We saw her lunging towards a kid that became a demon, so I think Ramis assumes like she knew somehow that before he did. So I don't think he's
Yeah, Sindra knew that there was something off. I mean, to you guys, he just looked like a menacing child.
yeah. So I don't think Ramis.
To Sindra, it also looked like a menacing child. Sindra did not know that that was a demon. She just saw it, the child, and was
right,
upset
but
by
Ramis
it.
doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So he's just like, oh, nothing's wrong here. Sindra saw that it was a demon and was just one step ahead. And so he's
Well,
Not at all curious
Fun.
that she knew it was a demon.
when I saw the kid though, I knew he was mine. I knew it was my demon.
You felt like you looked at this kid, like you looked into its eyes, and you felt like this is like you had a feeling like this is my child. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's not like you knew that it was your child, but like there's something that you're looking into its eyes and you're like, I feel like this is my child.
Okay.
That's how it feels to you.
Okay.
There's no actual confirmation or evidence of this
Okay.
besides the feeling.
Does Ramis notice that the group is stirring? They're waking. They're rousing.
You see, yeah, that everyone is getting up. Kane appears to be scribbling in a spell book. Zug looks sad and is lighting books on fire.
What?
Sindra is
Lighting
staring.
books on
I just have a lighter and I'm just trying to like light my to-do list on fire. But it's not working because I'm too dumb. The lighter's upside down.
No, there's no lighter.
It's all in your head. Just going like this.
There are matches, but maybe you don't have a strike book, or maybe you're hitting matches on the wrong side of the match.
I light the match. It's hot. And I give another one.
Oh, it's hot. He blows it out. Does it again. Ow!
We have a goldfish.
Oh,
Hey,
hey, I just got.
takes 1d4 psychological damage.
So okay, so I think Ramis will notice all of this.
Ashley's gonna come. Ashley and Rose.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
nice.
didn't know this until just now. You guys knew before I
Yeah,
did.
you guys knew.
I didn't know. She
Well,
said she had
You
stuff.
invited her.
Yeah.
Did she never reply to you? I
She
told her to
said-
invite her to
Okay,
reply.
we don't have to talk about this right now.
We're recording right now.
We are recording.
Professionally, guys. Oh my god.
And it's
Ramis,
not
you
going
notice the party stirring. You notice Sindra staring a hole into the wall. Kane is appropriately writing down some spells. Zug is hurting his fingers. Esmeralda is noticeably missing.
Yeah,
typical.
she bailed.
I think Ramis will play one last note and then lower his instrument and look at the party and say something like, what do we think shops will be open today?
Was this the festival day? I forgotten.
Today is the
Oh,
festival.
by the way, in your description that you wrote down, you said that it was the Hollow Festival. And I would like to point out that it is the Hallowed Eves Harvest Festival.
Ramesh will say, yes, today, unfortunately, is the Hallowed Eves harvest, I believe it's called.
Hallowed Eves Harvest. It's been on all the flyers, you guys.
Yeah, Ramesh remembers, he just mentioned it.
Is it the Holiday Harvest Festival?
Yes.
Okay.
Hallowed Eves Harvest Festival.
Fixed.
I do not know if businesses will be open on such a captivating occasion.
You don't think that they would want to harvest some additional funds from us?
Well, maybe, let's go find out, I don't know.
Kane cleans up his workstation a little bit, prepares to depart.
Ramesh was like mostly dressed anyways, just jumps out of bed, and throws his cloak over his back.
Oh, I see you found your armor.
I was wearing my armor the whole time. It was just in between this past session.
All right. So
Doug is gonna stand up and just kind of question the group. Were we not gonna see the coffee maker?
There's no coffee maker here, son.
Where you're ground up when you die, right?
Yes, we have a growing to-do list. We can see the coffin maker,
corpsey maker.
but
No.
perhaps there is a few stores along the way. Do we know where the coffin maker is?
Millivage told you across town.
I mean, across town
The
is
town is-
ambiguous to me.
The town is
So
huge.
you guys do know what the town generally looks like. So the St. Andrew's Church, and this is actually relevant. St. Andrew's Church lies on the western side, most western side of the town. It's the largest, most western building, besides a few scattered abandoned houses. The Blue Water Inn is close to the center of town. It's very central. You guys walked about 10 minutes to get there. I would say it's close to like a mile-ish, maybe a little bit less than a mile away, to get to the Blue Water Inn. And then he said it was on the opposite side of town, which you can only assume is east, on the eastern side of town. Yeah. There's one long cobbled road that leads throughout the length of the east-west of the village.
Yeah, we can check to see if your shops are open while on the way to the coffee maker.
You keep saying coffee maker.
He's continuing it.
Very well. I think Ramesh will start to head downstairs.
You start to head downstairs.
Yeah.
Does he see Danica?
You do not see Danica yet, but you do hear some clamoring coming from the kitchen. Some chinks and
Zug will,
clinks.
go ahead. Well, Zug will stand up and make sure all of his equipment is on his person and make sure his cloak of protection is clasped.
As you examine your armor and your cloak, you are able to discern that they are securely fastened and you feel very connected to your cloak.
Zug is feeling good. Zug had a good night's rest and he's feeling like he's 19 again. So he'll head down as well.
All right.
19.
How old
You
is
head
Zug?
downstairs.
Hmm?
You head downstairs. Kane follows suit. Sindra downstairs.
Yep.
You all head downstairs. You see the tavern is empty this morning. Nobody's there.
I think Ramesh will walk behind the bar
Yeah. Okay. So you head behind the bar
towards the kitchen,
towards the kitchen,
towards the noise,
towards where you hear the clinking noises.
and like to announce his presence.
As you make a coughing noise, Erwin turns to look at you and he greets you. Good morning.
Good morning, Erwin. How are you?
I'm doing all right today. How are you?
Given that I do not know the proceedings of such a day, It remains to be seen how I am doing.
Urin nods and does not reply.
Are shops open on a festival day?
Usually, yeah, until around 5 or 6 o'clock.
Do you know of where an armorer might be? I am in need of weaponry and, well, armor.
Yeah.
Tank
He
shows up
says-
behind.
Can't just speak for
There's
me.
an armorer slightly to the north of here. If you take the road out towards the east and then head immediately north, you should be able to find the armor shop.
Bernice, are you looking for more clothing?
Yes.
That seems very uncharacteristic of you.
Why, thank you. This clothing is not as protective as I would like, King.
That's true. Ken looks down, he's wearing his robe. He's dejected.
Erwin, what is the name of the shop, might I ask? Just so I know what I'm looking for.
You must give the DM a moment.
Erwin just sits there.
Just sits there like, "Oh, oh."
It's coming to me. It's coming to me. Stuck in like a 5-frame animation, loading animation.
Erwin just like runs out of the house for 5 minutes and comes back. Oh, it's called.
Out of breath. I hope I've been of service to you.
I'm finding. I was not expecting you
This
to do this
tastes like
today.
a beer.
It is a beer.
That's good. I know, it tastes more like a beer than other beers. I don't know how to describe it. Look at it, it's like a family. It's like a family of bears that are just like right next to each other.
Oh,
These are like,
drinking bears.
these are like beer bears with antlers.
Bantlers.
Ball horning.
Okay, well. I'm
Can you
having
just
trouble.
open up Strahd maps?
Dropmaps.com.
They're like Google Maps.
Straddle maps.
Struggle maps.
I think,
Show me the nearest armor if you like your sheet of paper.
Not getting any reception here.
You don't get any reception?
No.
Oh, and press the
Struggle
straddle maps sucks.
all right, well,
Ever since they
I'm
monetized it.
giving
Yeah,
up on
seriously, too many
finding
ads.
names. So
Name it.
instead.
Name it, DM.
Yes. Okay.
Entertaining himself. He doesn't have any logos.
No, like I gotta,
Zog is
I
just
gotta
at the bar.
trying to find the nearest white source.
It's called, so you're still speaking to Erwin after like 2 minutes of staring at you. Erwin finally says,
Its name is Armor Shop.
it's called the Armory. That's what it would be
Can't even
called.
put a name to it.
It's called the Armory.
Ramis does a double take at Erwin
Argue with that.
Is it like this minimalist, like armor, like trip hen?
It's called the Armory.
very well.
Is it spelled like crazy, like with a Y? 2 Ys?
Thank you, Erwin.
There's a Y in Armory.
No, with an I.
Armory has a one, isn't it?
That's why I corrected and I said 2 Ys.
Good day. Ramis turn.
Good day. Come on.
Doug is just like looking over in the kitchen, like if there's any like scraps or anything for little brunch.
No wine.
No wine.
Ramis is headed towards the front door with the water.
Okay.
I shout out to Ramis. Is that where we're going? To the pause armory.
Yes, it seems it's on the way to where we were headed anyways.
That's fine. I could use a new. I look over myself. Like something.
Okay, so you guys are headed out of the Blue Water Inn. The day outside is misty and overcast. There is a slight downpour.
A slight downpour. A mild hurricane.
Slight downpour. It's raining a little bit.
Boy.
How muddy is the ground?
As you walk through the streets, you trudge through some small puddles that are sitting on top of the cobbled town road. Water tip taps on your head and nose.
Is there anything interesting of note while we walk?
There aren't a lot of people out today.
Is that because of the weather?
It very well could be.
What time is the
This is the
All Hallows
implication.
Eve festival supposed to begin?
Usually the festivals begin in the afternoon around 4 to 6, somewhere in that range.
Ramis
And
will
as
kick the
the
mud.
as the
Hold up.
flyers say, rain or shine, attendance is required.
Ramis will pull the hood of his cloak for his head.
I'll
And
use
then
my shield.
cinch it and then
You're wearing
and
It's
then
for protection, not of rain.
he'll turn to the party and say, do you mind if we take a pit stop on the way to the coffin maker?
not at all for me.
Sounds good.
There you go. Ramis will turn on his boot heel in and head out into the mean streets of Kavaslatia.
All right.
Dwarf these names. You're just
Sounded
confusing
right.
stuff.
The town of
Velaki is
Valaki.
Velaki.
That's what Ramis does.
You head out into the mean streets as it is raining. You pass by the toy maker shop. Thanks, Steve.
Nice. Does he have any new wares for display?
Not that are immediately obvious to you.
More Blinsky wares.
Yeah. So you guys head out into the streets, and you are following Erwin's directions to get to the armory.
I think so.
Okay.
All the while, though, Ramis would like to be just noticing passersby, if there are any.
Yeah. So as you are walking through the streets, you see several homes that have a person or two in front of them, either tending to their house or just generally kind of hanging about and discussing things. If you want to talk to anyone, walk up to anyone in specific, you can talk to them.
Do I see anybody that takes my interest of note?
As you
Driving
walk
along the
by,
path.
you do notice that people will stop and look at you for a little while. This is
We
pretty
look
normal.
real different.
Yes,
We don't
Even
look
with,
as
like,
haggard.
especially this one.
We haven't had the hope drain from our
Anybody who
eyes.
stares at me, I'm gonna stare
Kane
back.
doesn't look particularly different besides the way that he's dressed,
I'm old and haggard.
but the other three do look quite different.
Even like
and
with a cloak and
unusual.
hood and stuff, people are still sussing me out. They're still.
With a
staring.
cloak and hood, maybe not, but definitely Zug. Zug is gigantic,
How big are you, Doug?
like 7 feet. No. I thought you were
Like
like
a
7 feet.
like a normal dude, right?
I thought Zug was like 7 feet tall.
Give me a second and bring it up. My character sheet.
I don't think Ramis is particularly tall. Like he's tall, but he's not like especially tall.
Features and traits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I have full superiority die. I am racial traits. No. I'm tall.
All right.
I'm tall enough that people look at me and point, and me look at them and growl.
Okay.
You look at them and point back.
Mhm.
I think, yeah, if people are just staring because they're outlandish, I don't think Release would really care to talk to them.
It is normally why they stare at you.
Yes. Release is used to this and doesn't care much for it.
Okay. Alrighty, so after about 10 minutes of trudging through the rain and puddles, you pass the seamstress is shop, and you make it to the armory. This armory looks like a small shop. There are some leather goods of medium craftsmanship that you note in the front window. And it appears to be open.
Okay. Release will open the door.
Open the door. You open the door, a small bell chime rings. There is a woman of medium stature and dark brown hair, dark long brown hair. She's wearing a leather vest and leather pants. And she turns to greet you. The armory smells of tanned leathers and hides.
Oh, it smells of studded leather.
No, that's where I
Of course.
Release might lay that one on her. How does she greet you? She just like nods.
She looks up towards you and she says, "Can I help you?"
Good day, my fair lady. We are here in need of your assistance. I, in particular, am looking for armor. What have you in that manner of vestments?
She says, "You looking for something specific or you just want to take a look around?"
Armor on the lighter side. Something I can move freely in.
Okay. She walks over to one of the walls and she sizes you up for a moment, looks you up and down. Not in a sexual way. Release.
Release makes it sexual.
Release
Release
will
makes
cock
it sexual, I
cock
know.
his eyebrow and just kind of like, and then he like nods to himself when he understands that she's not like being weird.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But she
yeah.
probably did. get
Like
a
she
little-
noticed. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Oh, DM played into it
Mhm.
Collusion.
now.
Yep, totally playing into it. And she sizes you up and she goes to one of the walls. She pulls some leather armor off the wall and she lays it down on her work table. She says, "This is pretty lightweight. Looks like it's about your size. Can tighten it up with a few buckles here and there if you'd like. Doesn't look like it's much better than what you've got on currently, but it is new."
So Ramisa will look around. She doesn't have any set of leather.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You can ask her to make some.
Yeah, or ask her if there is another place that has it.
Do you know of any stores where people make useful things?
Ramis
Higher
will-
quality items.
Ramis will look at the armor and say, "Yes, no doubt my armor is quite well worn in comparison, but I'm looking for something with a little more protection. Do you have studded leather armor perhaps, or do you know of someone in town who might stock it?"
She says, "I might have something." She says, "Wait here." And she goes to a little door in the back and she's gone for about a minute.
While
Don't know anything.
while she's gone for that minute, Remus would like to look at whatever else is on display. Are there like weapons and things as well?
There are a few weapons, not a lot though. It's mostly armor. It's mostly leather. You see some light chain armor.
Is that the same as chainmail?
Mhm.
Okay. So it's not like that wouldn't technically be light armor, right? It's chainmail.
No, it's not.
I'm not proficient in it.
Yeah. She comes back and she lays down a really nice looking set of tough looking but flexible leather armor that appears to be reinforced with some rivets.
Riveting.
Maybe especially for
Remus will like,
studs.
give a quick regard to Kane and then look back at the armor and say, like, not to let on too much. I'll just nod and be like, this might do.
Mhm. She says, this set is special. It took me quite a while to make, and most folks around here don't have use for something like this. She picks it up and she hands it to you on like the hanger so that you can feel its weight. It's pretty light, feels like it weighs less than 15 pounds.
Remus would like to look at the armor and perceive as much as he can about like what she might be insinuating, like implying by she spent more time on it. Is it just like well crafted, or is there actually something special about it that strikes his eye?
It just looks like different than the rest of the armor. Most of the rest of the armor is like laced up and like with leather laces. This one has actually like studs hammered into it, the rivets, and the spikes just sort of make it hardened. And the leather quality looks a little bit higher than the rest of the quality of the leather in the shop.
Okay, Remus will say, yes. It looks as though you maybe used a different leather for this piece as well. Is that right?
She says, yeah, when I got a shipment in and I had some higher quality leathers, I decided to take a little bit of extra time to make something good. It's been sitting here for quite a while, unfortunately. No one appears to have a need for it. We haven't had a lot of problems, a lot of altercations in Valakia for some time.
Well, with the right set of armor, perhaps altercations can be further avoided. Nobody wants to strike metal against something that would protect me this well.
She says, unfortunately, it's costly. There's nothing else like this for quite some time, I can assure you of that.
Yet you have said that it has been trouble for you to sell. Surely it is more valuable being worn and sold than it is being in your closet.
She says, yes, but I would also have to make modifications to this to fit your size and stature.
Does Remus agree with that when he's looking at the armor?
It looks like it might be made for her.
Ooh.
I think-
Adventurer.
Yeah, I
She
think-
is like, she is, to be fair, like she is no small girl. Like she's, you know,
I think
brawny.
Remus would look at her and
It's all
say,
about that base.
did you make this for yourself by chance?
She says, I used some of my proportions. I didn't necessarily have someone in mind.
That rings true. There's that.
Are you trying to sense motive? You can
I
do
could
that.
an insight check.
Yeah, you can run insight.
20.
That seems perfectly reasonable to you.
Well, perfectly honest. to
Yeah.
me. Okay. And what price would you ask for this?
She looks at the armor and she looks at you. She says, with modifications, I could let this go for 500.
That's a lot of wine.
I think Remus will turn to Zug and say, indeed. You know, there's a shame that I would be killed while trying to rid this land of its thirst where it's lack of wine. And then he'll turn to the woman and be like, the reason I need such armor is because the mission we are on is quite dangerous. We have heard about the lack of wine in Balaki, and we are here to do something about it. I do not know if I can afford 500 gold pieces for this, but it would be a great help
Advantageous.
to bring the flow of,
Liquid hope.
yes, thank you, sir. The flow of liquid hope back to Balaki.
She looks at you.
Can I roll persuasion?
Yeah.
Can I
Can-
assist by
can-
looking into her eyes, but in like shadowing?
You have a negative
Ramesh.
charisma modifier. Get out of here.
Yes, seriously.
Kane slaps Rames's back, well, also casting guns, and says, "Yes, sir. As much as I hate to admit it, Rames here is quite valuable from time to time. It would be a shame for him to be killed by some horrible accident."
What does guidance do for me?
Guidance gives you a plus a D4 on your.
In addition to my plus 10?
Yes.
Woo.
So you roll a D4 in addition to your D20.
Did you factor in my
So
help?
that's a 25 plus. Oh, I got a 29 on my persuasion.
She is most definitely persuaded to give you a 10% discount.
Ramesh will like that. And I think, would I know that you cast anything on me, or would I just think that
I think
was
it's a
hard
willing
problem?
creature.
Okay.
Such a
So I
willing
think-
creature.
Ramesh like might have a hint that some magic just coursed through
You
his
might
veins
know. Yeah, you might feel a tingle.
and like give Kane a quick point.
She nods her head and she says, "A noble act indeed."
To get us all drunk again.
It has definitely taken a toll on my family and my brothers that there is no wine to be had. I'll let it go for 450.
Holy shit.
What's the much of this?
Everything's so expensive.
That's
That's like a third of.
Yeah, okay.
That is approximately,
How much
you
more
guys
is it?
would know, not having been in Barovia before. That's
It's like
almost a
5 times as much.
10-time markup.
10 times.
It's
Because this isn't
approximately,
even magical studded leather.
it's approximately 10 times markup.
How much more AC do you get for it?
1. I get 1. Ramesh
400 gold.
will say, "Thank you, milady, but I simply cannot afford this."
He says, "Well, when you can afford it, come back. It'll probably still be here."
If-
Yes, if I make it back, but good day
If
to
the
you.
village is still here, yes. it'll return.
Okay.
I have
fuck.
little hope of that without the wine.
Guess we're just gonna have to find some poor dead person and steal it from them.
Yeah, I think we will.
That's fair.
There should be plenty of them. soon
Ramesh
enough.
will say, "I'm sorry to have troubled you. Enjoy the festival," and turn to leave.
At 29. Now
You
we
did
know-
persuade her.
Now we know not to try.
Yeah.
You
Jesus.
persuaded her. You just persuaded her to give you a small discount.
Hmm.
She was persuaded.
Okay. Ramesh is over it. He's out. He's
Yep.
leaving.
All
You should
right.
have married her and gotten that as like a dowry.
We can just send Sindra in there later to steal it.
Yeah, actually, for real. I'm just gonna cast invisibility on myself and go back into the store.
You could have taken
Are we
this armor, no
already
one's
becoming
interested
evil?
in it.
We're already becoming.
I
evil.
need the 1 AC, man.
you kind of.
You really don't.
I have more AC.
Yeah, what the fuck? I see.
You'll live with that one. I
All
said.
right, Ramesh, yeah, heads back out in the rain and will, I guess, go notionally northeast in the direction of the grave, the coffin maker.
Yeah, we're heading over to
Yes.
the coffin.
Yeah.
I'll
All
pat
right.
his back and
Right,
say,
give him a-
cheer up, my less armored friend.
I think, yeah, Ramesh, when we come out of that shop, we'll just like turn away and say, "What is the inflation in this place? We will be able to afford nothing."
Seems to be approximately 10 times that, but almost. So.
Indeed.
The economy will go back to normal once the wine flows again.
This is not the first time you've observed this markup. You noticed it in the
I
village
know.
of Barovia as
We
well.
almost murdered a map maker's son.
That's
Sure
true.
as the markup was so insulting.
Periwimple.
Periwinkle.
Uh,
Yeah.
Anyways, you guys head back into the street, back towards the main cobbled street road. It's still raining. There's still puddles that are splashing as you. After about what feels close to a mile of travel, you happen upon a 2-story building that on the outside reads coffins.
Quite lively, this one.
It is a very sad looking building.
I think we have found the place.
Can
It
I-
is
let's go in it.
Uninviting shop, 2 stories tall. There's a sign that is actually shaped like a coffin above the front door. All the windows and shutters are closed up tight, and a deathly silence surrounds this establishment.
Of course, it had to be deathly.
Mhm.
I'm smelling coffee.
It smells like coffee.
Smells more like death.
Are you in the right place, though?
Not since the wine left me.
Ramis will walk inside if it looks open.
The outside doors of the shop are barred shut from within.
Ramis will knock.
Bitch.
You knock.
Yeah, why not?
Are you making coffee?
You reminded me I need coffee. Okay, you knock on the door. There is no reply.
I will come up to the door
Knock harder?
and knock harder. Like,
This is a door, all right? This is your jam.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
hopefully
that's
it's not
good fun,
jammed,
too.
but
Yeah, exactly.
You knock harder.
like fit, not knuckles. I'm using bottom of my fist.
It's barred?
The door, when you try to open it, you can feel the bar on the inside. There's a bar through
I
the
think
inside of the door.
Ramis would turn to Syndra because we kind of have our doubts about this person. at this
Sure, but
Yeah.
let me resolve what Zug did first. He knocked harder.
That's cool. That's fair.
A shout comes from within. We're closed. Go away.
People are dying to get in here.
Well, I'm open and I have business. I shout back.
What did you say?
Well, I'm open and
Well,
I have business.
You're open and you have business. He says, I don't care. We're closed.
Yeah, I don't care that you're closed. And I'll bang some more.
Make a bone pun now.
Continue to bang on the door.
Yeah, 3 or 4 more
I
times.
think Ramis will message this person.
The voice shouts again. Go away. Leave me alone.
I think Ramis is going to message him, and the message will say, "Speak with
So he hears a voice in his mind that
them."
says,
So speak with them.
speak with them.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to imagine how I would react if like a voice in my head just like
Yeah.
said that.
You'd probably think you're crazy.
Yeah, I probably would just be more adamant about not speaking with them.
Would you?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't assume they did anything.
I'm not going to trust anything that whispers to me.
Yeah, I think he's more. He's,
Is he?
Nothing changes.
I will turn to the group and just like, I am all out of ideas.
That's okay, son.
I think
You're LeBron.
Ramis will just like, I am going to have my companion break down your door, sir.
Syndra.
You hear nothing.
I whisper over to Syndra. Syndra, would you
Yep.
case the joint a bit and see if you might find an alternate means of ingress.
As Kane is whispering to Syndra, Remis will continue his attempt and say, very well, Zug. 3, 2, 1, have your way, my friend.
I will force the door open with kicks.
Strength.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want me to get my
Finally
dice?
opening a door.
Yes, please.
He lives for this. I'm also gonna send the spooky owl over the top of the building to see if
Make
I can
sure-
kind of help Syndra find something that might work as a point of entry.
Yeah, also make sure he doesn't like escape out the back or something.
Baby dice?
Baby dice.
Don't use the baby dice.
And I'm also having the owl kind of fly over and around to look from above to make sure, A, that nobody's escaping from the building, and B, to maybe help look for another point of entry with Syndra.
It's plus my modifier, right?
Mhm.
So I will brace myself. I'm going to kick the door right on the latch as far as I can.
I'm gonna give Zug a slap on the ass while casting guidance on
Hmm.
him.
What are you guiding?
Guidance,
My ass.
guidance you.
His butt. His kick.
5. Just like my health.
Roll a d4. See if we can double that.
I don't think it's gonna matter.
Yeah.
Zug kicks the door with all of his strength, and it does not budge,
I get like
and it
pushed
hurts
back.
his ankle.
My ankle hurts now.
So your owl, through your owl's eyes, you were able to see that the windows are frosted glass, so you can't see inside. Little squares of frosted glass. And that there is a lattice work of iron fitted with each window, barring from the inside.
Like, couldn't Remis potentially cast Shatter and just break everything?
The glass, but not the iron.
Doesn't it affect metal?
What is shattered?
It says a creature made of inorganic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal.
A creature.
Yeah, and then it says non-magical objects that aren't being worn or carried also take damage. So it just, to me, it sounds like it can just like break
Yeah.
shit with it. Like I just shatter stuff.
You know, like a bowl. Danny used the shatter spell to totally fuck a whole chunk of Michael's campaign that we're running. Literally annihilated an entire encounter, and he allowed it to happen. He rewarded her for
I
her
will not
shatter.
make this mistake.
Wait, why can't I shatter? Like that's a viable use of this spell, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's called shatter. It literally shatters the DM's hopes and dreams.
Hmm. That's what I hope to do.
Oh, like hold person.
Yes. That was another good one. He was so fucking
It
mad.
broke the campaign. That's what it did.
Oh,
I have to be the person, by the way.
I also have whole person.
It's just grappling.
Yeah.
Hey, if you learn to teleport 120 feet, that'll be great.
Magic through might. That's what I call it.
Hmm.
See, all these are fine.
You shatter to break stuff, Ivy. You shatter to break an object.
How break shatter?
Just gonna shatter our way into
A
everything.
non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried takes damage if it's in the spell's area.
It takes damage. Doesn't mean it breaks it. It could
Yeah.
have more damage than.
So
what the
apparently the
spell
Dungeon
does.
Master Guide has a page on breaking objects. Hmm.
I'd imagine that it would break the glass, but that the iron lattice would not break. It might like warp a little bit.
Oh, they actually have. They actually have rules on it. Yeah, so like iron and steel has an AC of 19 when it comes to statistics for objects. Comes back and you assign an armor class and hit points to a destructible object. You can also give it immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities, specific types of damage. Object's armor class is a measure of how difficult it is to deal damage to the object when striking it.
It will destroy the glass, but it won't destroy the iron. Like it might warp the iron a little bit.
Okay. And it wouldn't do anything to the door.
The doors would.
With
You can shatter the shit out of that door.
So I can't shatter the door.
It's for metal and glass.
Can't shatter. Oh, it's technically organic.
It's an organic compound.
Well, we can light it on fire, I suppose.
Yeah, did you just cast fireball on it?
Let's run things up over its
Can we have Sindra take a crack at the lock?
Yeah, I think Ramis will just let Zug
Sindra's
keep
been-
trying the door while Sindra sneaks around, basically.
Yeah.
I can cover her. I'm pretty large.
Sweet.
Smash him in the front door. You don't
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can try again, but you're just gonna hurt yourself a little bit
That's
if you
fine.
fail.
I have 35 health.
He's
I'll
got
take-
35 more.
Wait, son, perhaps we can this a slightly less dangerous way. It's Kane snaps his fingers and creates a little bit of fire in his hands. Look,
You're gonna
Henrik.
use a spell slot? A
Yeah, that's
spell?
cantrip.
It's a, okay, you're not using fireball. Okay.
Ooh,
I can only use fireball on a door.
On the door.
wait.
It's got-
I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you do that, and then I'm.
No.
I
By all
also-
means, if you have a slightly less destructive way of solving this problem, I'm all ears.
This is the Kanye Taylor Swift moment right now. Hold on, I'm gonna let you do your thing, but I just have to say, this cantrip is the best cantrip of all time.
Like, could I cast Unseen Servant behind the door and have it try to like
You have to have line of sight on
unbar it? Where does it say that? Though?
Perform a simple test to connect.
Shatter the glass and then look through.
Ground within range.
But like, couldn't I just cast it on the other side of the
I
door?
find
or
it
cast
very
in front of me and have it
surprising
walk
that
through
you
the
guys
door?
don't have a better way to
Right?
break a wood door.
It's shapeless.
I have an axe.
Just because it's
Well, I'm gonna do-
it's still interactive.
You can use
objects,
it.
that's why I can pick
While these
things up
guys
and
are
stuff.
like
It's not
doing
a-
the thing, I'm gonna do.
They're
something.
talking about
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna attack.
and I-
Yeah, okay.
Zug, do it.
He has no patience.
I'm,
Didn't even
I'm
get guidance that
RP.
time.
I'm RP. 8 plus, I don't know. Actions. 8 plus 5, so 12, no, 13.
Like to hit the door?
Yeah.
That is the door.
Thank you.
Ooh, oh. I can break the glass and cast Unseen Servant.
There you go.
I fucking just said that.
You did.
Shatter the glass, look through, and then cast Unseen Servant to open the door.
I didn't hear you say that.
That
at all.
is what he said.
Well, you know what? I lost patience, and I'm attacking the darkness.
Okay.
Doug, if
I hit
only-
it with the wrong end of the axe.
All right, let do Syndra while, but Ramis is gonna start heading towards one of the windows.
It's 3 damage.
Sindra sees exactly the same thing as the bird.
Okay. There's no back door. Okay, Ramis is going to try to crack the window with the butt
You
of the
don't
short
even
sword.
need to shatter that. Yeah.
It was like frosted, right? I can't see it on
It's
this.
frosted glass
Yeah. Yeah,
and
so he's gonna
iron
just-
lattice
he's gonna
work
like-
outside of it.
He's going to just like tap it very hard with the butt of his short sword.
Strength.
Really?
You should have stabbed the glass.
Dude, this
Take
window
it with
is
a
super
sword.
strong. You can't. Not just anybody can break a window.
No one else can kick a door.
I think like a level 5 adventurer probably could.
No, dude.
17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breaks.
Okay. Ramis will peer through where he broke the glass.
Mhm.
What does he see?
You see the inside of the shop is kind of scattered with coffins on the inside.
Neat.
Coffin shop.
Is the dude there?
You see a man standing in front of a door that leads out of the room you are looking in. And upon seeing you break the window, he walks into a second room beyond your
It's just
vision
Just has a series of doors.
and closes the door.
We can burn this whole building down.
Okay, Ramis will cast Unseen Servant into the room that you can see. And he will have it walk up the stairs and try the door that the guy just shut.
It's not stairs, it's just,
Okay,
Another
behind the door.
yeah, just the door.
He'll have the Unseen Servant try to open the door.
How much weight can the unseen servant carry?
It can open doors.
It's barred shut by like a big wooden log.
So the
The front
door he just closed.
Oh,
he's
you're gonna go
actually-
after the guy. You're
Yeah,
not
I'm
gonna,
just gonna try to scare the shit out of him. Like
you're
I'm-
not gonna open the door.
No, there's
for
like
you guys?
magically a door in front of him.
I
that's
can
going to
scare people.
Like,
Open the door.
you
the
could
front
open the door so you guys could go in.
So I
That's
could.
all I'm saying.
Yeah, I didn't know that because I didn't know that I could see. So okay, so you're.
Am I making this hard to understand?
No.
Okay.
I didn't know about how the door was barred until she told me, but I had already said the action I was going to do.
Okay. So
Okay, so in that case, now that I know, the unseen servant will just unbar the door.
how? And so I ask again. How much weight can the
It doesn't
unseen
say, it
servant
has-
carry?
It has a strength of 2. Does that? I assume that could maybe pick up a bar door. I have no idea.
It's like 10 pounds or something.
I thought it was 5 pounds.
That's amazing.
Oh.
6 pounds or less, 14 to 20 pounds with a heavy load. Okay. So it picks up the wooden log that is barring the door shut and removes it, so you can now open the door from the outside.
Okay. I will turn to Zug and I say the door is open, my friend. And then he will have the unseen servant go to the door the guy just closed and try to open it and see what happens.
Okay.
I will open the door and watch as the unseen servant struggles.
You wouldn't be able to see it, so you just do your turn while
Okay.
the unseen servant is doing
Okay,
it.
are you telling us that you're doing this?
No, I'm just doing it. I just told you the door's
Okay,
open.
so I am going to run in and like drop kick the door.
Did you see that the guy went into another door?
No, I guess I didn't. No, I
Yeah.
take that back. then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna open the door. I can't see your unseen servant. I don't know he's going for the other thing. And I'm going to step inside with like, I'm like at the ready.
Ready to go.
I'm just like, I'm
Upon
coming for you, man.
entering the shop,
You will accept my business.
Oh, wearing pants.
it smells of sawdust with a tinge of rot.
Hmm.
Oh, gross. Fuck this guy.
You can see from the inside, those of you who did not see, that every window of the shop is a lattice work of iron fitted with its squares of frosted glass that are locked from the inside.
Can we get another, like a more, what am I seeing in this particular room besides what you just described?
Yes, you can. So in this room,
You want me to warm that up, Todd?
Huh?
You want me to warm that
No,
up?
no, it's good. Cool. It's very good. It's just a little drippy. Drippy.
Do you think it would be less tricky?
you can see
I
a
would-
room that looks like this.
So we came in
Here,
here?
here,
Here.
here. So you came in here and you see a room scattered with a bunch of wooden coffins. The room that the man went to was here because the window that he broke is this one here. And so this is what you see. You see a bunch of wooden coffins strewn about the floor.
I will step a few more feet inside and then motion for my party to come check this out. This is creepy as hell.
So as you guys enter, this is what you see. So this is the door that you entered within.
Yeah.
This is the window that Remise broke.
Okay. Has my unseen servant tried the door yet?
So your unseen servant meanders on over to this door, which is where the man disappeared into. The unseen servant tries the door and opens it successfully.
I will nod towards that door to Zug.
I will nod back and proceed towards that door.
I'm gonna follow them in.
You all follow into that room.
I will slowly push open the door and look inside before entering.
So you push into the door, and I somehow need to not screen share while looking at my notes to read. So,
Cheese and goodness. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Cheese man.
okay. So, you run into that room and you push it open.
It's already open.
You push it further open.
Large door.
To reveal a table with 4 chairs in one corner of the room with a lantern hanging from a chain directly above. There are 2 well-made cabinets standing against the eastern wall, and there is a bed cot rolled up against the wall,
Against which wall?
the eastern wall next to the cabinets.
With the cabinets.
Hmm.
So there's table and chairs and cabinets.
And cabinets and a bed cot, a rolled cot.
I will yell out, "Are you still here?"
He is not in this room, and you hear nothing.
I will proceed into the room. Do I see anything on the table?
Nothing of note. There's like a couple of food scraps.
Are they edible?
I
I
don't
need
know.
breakfast. Okay.
I'm gonna pull out my wand and magic and cast it on the side.
Does it smell like rotting? How about that? Can I detect the smell of rot in this room?
It smells the same as the first room, so like that tinge of rot.
Lovely.
There's one other door in this room that you can see.
On the western end.
Okay, foot.
I want to take a look at the cabinets. I'll open them like with my axe.
Just has like a nail, loose nail. sticking out.
So you open up the cabinets. They are packed full of some items that don't appear to have a lot of value. Various things that. What are you guys doing?
Waiting on your description.
The tape.
What?
I'm a fidgeter. I need things to fidget to focus.
Okay.
No.
There's some various items inside of the cabinet. Nothing noteworthy
I bought
or
this for you just now, Joe.
valuable.
What about the other cabinet?
Same thing.
Wait, you
Appears
didn't
to be
open the
full of
door?
Worthless items.
I opened the door, I stepped inside, she gave a description.
The
And
second
then,
door.
no, I'm taking a look at this door. I don't know if he's maybe hiding in the cabinets. It sounds like those cabinets are large.
They're
enough
large,
for
yeah.
someone.
I'll have the unseen servant swing open the cabinet doors.
Swing open.
He's
Okay.
already looking.
All right.
at
I'm
cabinet
like
doors.
holding the thing open, you just fling it open.
I'll
with my
have the
hands.
cabinet, the unseen servant slap the back of his legs. No, just kidding. I'll have it open the other door.
The unseen servant moves over into the other door and opens it.
I already.
This room is what appears to be a workshop and contains everything a carpenter would need to make coffins and furniture. There are 3 sturdy work tables stretching the length of the western wall, and a man stands in this room. The man is old with gray locks and a feather-grayed beard. His face is deeply wrinkled, and under his gray mustache, he has what looks like a permanent frown. He's wearing a leather work vest and gloves.
Does he could appear threatening in any way? Like,
threatening in like a menacing way or like a,
Like what he
He's just
has in
like
his
strong?
hands, are they like,
he's not holding anything in his hands,
what is his hand, what are his hands doing?
just down at his sides.
Yeah.
He's wearing work gloves.
yeah.
And he looks at you guys as you come in and he says, I'm not open today. Leave me alone.
Well, that may be the case, though we have a bit of a bone to pick with you.
I want to whisper also nice.
He asks, what do you want?
Are you aware of a young child named Milange? Milange. Hard to do that accent and do a French accent.
That's not his name.
What is it?
Milivage. It's
I
not
literally
Orange.
said I'm trying to do Deckard's voice and an accent at the same time. It's not easy.
Milivage.
Hey, any of you try doing an accent?
I just did.
Milivage. Milivage.
With a
name
little
is
bit of
Milivage.
Judge Dredd in there.
Okay, anyways. Milivage. He says, I don't know what you're talking about.
Inside check.
Roll.
Can I roll too?
Yep.
15.
He's 1,000% lying.
Ha! You don't really expect us to believe that, would you?
He says, I can't help you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen, we know what you asked Milavage to do. He was hired by you to steal the bones from the chapel. We are here to retrieve them. It does not need to become violent. However, we are not leaving here without them.
He says, the bones are upstairs.
Ramirez is gonna roll insight on that.
Mm,
I have a question. after that.
it does not appear that he is lying.
Who else here is with you?
Nobody else is here.
You make these coffins by yourself?
I do.
What else is here with you?
The coffins.
So you're telling me, after your lies, that we can just walk up the stairs, get the bones, and leave. Is that right?
He says, you can.
Ramirez says, if he is telling a lie, his pants will fall down, and he'll have the unseen servant pull his pants down.
Well, it appears as though you may be lying.
I'm on fire too.
What's
You
his reaction?
pulled his pants
Yeah, what's his
down?
reaction to his pants? So, like, just suddenly just getting pulled down.
He seems extremely frazzled and he pulls his pants back up.
We have a liar here.
I have an idea. You can make up for your lies by going upstairs and retrieving the bones for us.
This is a sound idea.
He says, I will not.
Why is that?
He stays resolutely silent.
So he hasn't been intimidated at all by the message or his pants suddenly falling down or doors magically opening in front of him.
He seems distraught and upset, but not necessarily afraid.
Not afraid.
Not of you.
Okay, I think
We can question. We can ask questions.
I want to.
Why did he want the bones?
exactly.
restored?
Well, that's what I was gonna.
I'm going to like circle the dude, so I'm near the stairs.
Okay,
Just
good call.
kind of flank him.
Would you like question?
You're like charisma, man.
Thank you. Ramis will step forward and just kind of say, like, you should get your pants resized. Why did you want these bones in the first place?
He stays silent.
You will answer me. You will answer me, or else I will have my friend do more than pull your pants down, and I'm gonna roll intimidation
And I will assist by growling.
I will slap your back.
How many times can you do that?
Oh,
Can
that's
you
a
slap,
nat
just
20.
slap,
That's-
slap people? You just
That's a
As long as I can talk.
nat 20 on intimidation, 27 total. Plus 4.
plus
Plus
my
1d4.
growling.
Plus Sug's growling. That's 29 total intimidation.
His demeanor shifts slightly. He says, I don't need to give you my sob story. A man came here a few months ago. He told me that if I took the bones, that it would bring me good business, friendship.
Man, you say. And Kane casts minor illusion, he holds up in his hand, and he creates a visage of Strahd. He wouldn't have looked like this by any chance, would he?
Henrik actively grimaces at the figure and he says, the devil? Of course not. He has not visited Vallaki in over 100 years.
Does he believe that? Insight check.
You sense no lying.
Visited in over 100 years.
Can't he like change the way he looks anyways?
Yeah, you can totally.
What
I
do
just
you-
figured it would be worth.
What do you mean by increased business? You're a coffin maker.
Good point, Sug.
He says, well, I did not have a lot of good business before this. And since the bones have been here, my business has been better.
Meaning more people have died.
One could say that, but not just that, but people coming into my shop and conversing with me has meant that I've had more interactions.
On the rare occasion that you are open.
Perhaps there are other ways to gain social interaction. Henrik, right?
He nods.
You know, there's a perfectly good inn down the street that we frequent that is quite a lively establishment. We've had quite some conversation, haven't we, gentlemen? Also, where's Sindra? Did she come in?
She's there, yeah.
Hmm.
He says, I've tried the inn. The nature of my handiwork usually pushes people away.
Oh, well,
That and the smell.
you're telling me that business was slow. But you are quite good with wood, are you not?
You look around the shop and notice it seems all very mediocre to you.
It is much simpler to aid folks with building fences or assisting in other various capacities than necessarily making coffins.
He says, my business is coffin making. Always has been, always will be.
Well, apparently it's also now theft.
Hmm.
Is that how you'd like the town to see you?
He says the town doesn't see me anyways.
That sounds as though it has more to do with your behavior than the town's.
Again, things have been better.
Zug will interject and say, it's interesting that you wished for increased business, but do not wish to perform other acts of carpentry to expand your business.
That's an excellent point, son. Listen, this does not need to become violent. We are trying to work with you. We'd be willing to help you in other ways. but the bones must be returned to the chapel. Increased business is no return for people's lives.
I will not stop you from getting the bones,
What is stopping you from giving us the bones?
because they are upstairs, like I said. If you wish, you can retrieve them.
That was not my question. My question was, what is stopping you from retrieving the bones for us?
He remains silent.
So he's not intimidated anymore?
He is intimidated.
He's just stubborn old
He
man.
is impossibly withholding of that information.
His silence is answer enough
I'm going
that
to
you
cast
should
suggestion
proceed
on
with
him.
caution.
I'm going to cast suggestion on him. And because, right, we've established we're not here to hurt him. We're here to alleviate him of the problem that caused him to get the bones in the first place. And we'll take the bones off his hands and we'll deal with whatever might be causing him to be afraid to talk to us about.
Also, he may not want to leave the room. I don't know, maybe something.
Well, he was in the other room earlier.
I know, but he retreated to this room and he doesn't want to leave this room now. So maybe there's something special about this room.
Well, how did my cast go?
You casting suggestion? Don't you have to suggest something?
I did.
What did you
I just
suggest?
explained.
You can suggest that someone does like an action.
Yeah, to retrieve the bones from us, or explain why he won't retrieve the bones for us.
Can you suggest someone to tell you the truth?
Well,
I
you
think
can suggest
suggestion is
someone
an
to take an
action.
action.
Yeah.
Right. That if I explain or if I contextually surround it in, there's no real reason why they wouldn't. Like if their life isn't at risk by telling me why, he wouldn't go do that.
It's to take an action.
Suggest a course of activity, limited to a sentence or two, and magically influence a creature you can see within range that can hear and understand you. Creatures that can be scared and ask a creature to you. You can't ask them to stab themselves or throw themselves on a spear or immolate themselves, right? But you can ask them to take any other course of action.
Course of action. It's not like a truth spell. Doesn't work that way.
Why don't you get those bones for us?
Yeah, you could do that. That would be fine.
Yeah, because
You have to word it in a way that seems reasonable, but yeah, you could definitely suggest that he goes and retrieves the bones. That's an action. But you can't suggest that he like tells you the truth.
I thought that's literally like half of the point of suggestion. That's like a
Suggestion is
Jedi
to
mind trick.
suggest people to do things, not to say things.
I guess that
Yeah.
makes sense, because you could suggest what he says, but you can't suggest the
Okay.
intent.
Well, I mean, that's Danny's call.
Yeah, you can't say, I agree with that. You can't suggest intention.
Tell him to do the bones.
Yeah.
Oh, we're telling him to do the bones.
Because we won't hurt him if he gets the bones. I mean, that's a perfectly reasonable course of action.
So. Can I have my dice?
Yeah.
What is your wisdom? He makes a wisdom, he has to make a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yeah, 16.
Okay. You're 14. He says no.
He says no.
Yes, which is belief that it will cause him harm.
What is up there that is going to hurt you?
I am wanting to go up there now at this point because he's.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
fine
gonna
with this.
turn around and slowly head up the stairs, being extra perceptive in my.
Turn the light on a little bit higher, please. Thank you. Just
What
a
do you
tiny
love
bit,
more?
Little dinner action.
little tiny bit higher. That's good. Thank you. He continues to remain silent.
Even as I head up, does he look at me?
He sees you going, and like he kind of is fine with you going, but he's digging his heels in, and he will not go.
Okay. Do I have to roll another intimidation check if I want him to tell us, or?
We can threaten his life right here, right now. And if he's about to die, he might take his chances with whatever's upstairs.
Well,
Just
here's-
ask him, what is he so afraid of?
I did.
He
You
did
did not
ask
say
that.
that.
He just asked
Like,
that.
but I guess I'm just asking a technicality. Like, is my intimidation still applying? Like, is there any use to me trying to intimidate him? I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, well, okay, well, here's the real thing that I'll pose to you guys is what does it help you if he comes or doesn't?
No, I want to ask him
I
a
want to
question.
know what it is
Yeah.
that's stopping him from going up.
So, like, I think Ramis just wants to understand what Zarg might be doing. or something.
So
Mhm.
basically what his silence tells you that whatever he fears up there is dangerous.
Is greater.
And that's
than
all that-
what we pose.
He's basically insinuating that he's more afraid of whatever is up there than he is of you. And he's afraid of you.
Especially with a, what did you roll, a 29?
29. So he's more afraid of that.
You rolled a nat 20.
He's not necessarily more afraid, equally afraid, but he can sense that you don't actually want to kill him.
Can you?
You haven't killed him yet.
We could actually
I
just
think-
kill him.
I
You
think
could kill him.
Ramis is
Would that
going
help
to
you?
Pull out his rapier and just kind of like regard the end, and he'll have his unseen servant start to like pet the man's head.
Ew.
Yes, he is going to feel this. Like, and he doesn't see anything. He just feels his head like pressure. And then he'll walk
mean-
towards him and say, if I'm about to send my friend, and he'll point his hug, to his death, it might be helpful for me to know what he is walking into. And if you do not help us, you will die from what is up there or by me. But if you tell Zug, perhaps you could live on both accounts.
And we can fight it together.
He's already jeopardized people's lives, so a good aligned character could literally kill him. That is fine.
I think Ramis is feeling pretty justified.
Um. He says, dying by your blade still does not give me as much resistance.
What about telling us what's up there? That can't possibly be more dangerous.
I think Ramis will just be like, no, you misunderstand me. This is just how I tell my friend what to do. And he'll like point his blade at him, and then he'll have the unseen servant start to like press into the man's eyeballs.
Man, you guys are going to feel the repercussions of these actions
Why?
because you are getting evil.
No,
I know.
he is bad.
He's
You
bad.
have no idea. You have no idea. You're assuming.
He stole
He's
a
lying.
saint's bone
He's
from a
lying
church.
to you,
He convinced a child.
but you still
to
don't know
steal-
his. You don't know his
Motive.
exact motive.
And he's not telling us.
But what I'm saying is, this is just a person who's like scared out of his mind, and you're like threatening to murder him.
I say at this point, we should just go
This
check
is
it out.
this is moving way away from the good character zone, and you in this world. I'm letting you know because I know that you guys are doing this. It's not like I know that like character. I want to tell you. I want to give you the information that if you go about doing actions like this,
Why is
your
this, what-
your
why is
character
this evil?
alignment will start to change and things will start
You're
to happen.
pressing into his eyeballs.
Why is that
That's
evil?
Just
His
protection.
actions have led to the deaths of tons of
He-
But even if someone
If
was
we-
like
if
an
we slit his
evil,
throat right now, that's not evil.
Wait, like
I'm
you
fine
can
with Danny.
be lawful good and murder people.
Oh, yeah,
yes, but
100%.
you don't murder them by pressing into their eyeballs. Like
Yeah,
it's just
That's torture at that point.
Yeah,
no, I
I'm-
didn't say how hard. I'm
It
literally.
doesn't, it doesn't matter how
you
hard
guys
it
can
is.
dig your heels in on this.
Yes, it does.
But I am
Yes, it
when
does.
I'm
It's not
telling
covering
you
your eyes.
what you're doing
pressing-
right now is for sure
Wait, why is
tampering
it?
on
Why
the
is
evil
why is
side.
like
This is
trying
real,
to?
Rosie. Like, we can't intimidate the guy. It's
You can.
impossible.
You
This
can.
is the point
I-
to intimidate.
I am telling
A
you
nat
what the
20 allows a
repercussions.
hobbit to crit a
No, no, no.
dragon.
Okay, no.
I am
like,
telling you
if-
what the repercussions of your
No,
actions
so
might be.
Ramis is trying to get this guy to tell him something. Ramis has no intention of like popping his eyes into his skull. He is like literally making this guy feel this so that he will hopefully spill his guts, and then Ramis doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how is that evil? Like, that is literally just tricking this guy into telling us the truth. How is that evil?
You're basically torturing someone to tell you the truth.
No.
This
I'm
is
not.
like torture. Yeah.
This is how. I
Listen,
don't understand. Like, so,
I'm saying you can do this all I'm saying, like, you can do whatever you want. This is a world. I just want you to know. I don't want you to be surprised when
But
things
why?
start to
Like,
happen.
why? I just don't understand why this is evil.
Out of character, just for a second. I know one thing you asked us to do is try to find non-attacky, non-fighty ways to solve problems, and we've done nothing but try to do that, and we're being stonewalled. So
You're not being stonewalled. You're able to do this, but I'm telling you what the
No,
But you're telling
repercussions
us
will
not
be.
to. basically.
yeah, we've
I'm
tried
telling you what the
everything
no,
non-violent.
you can do this. It's going to do something
No, no, no,
different.
no.
Like
We've
the
tried
world will
everything.
change.
We've tried everything non-violent up to rolling in that 20 on having him just tell us why he's too scared to go up there.
I'm
and
telling you
that
that
failed.
decisions in Barovia has consequences. Just like in
Okay,
Death House,
okay.
when you guys decided, if you decide to make a
Rewind.
sacrifice,
Okay, Ramis
versus
just
if-
won't do anything. Okay, and Ramis will say okay, and
how do I
like
get out of this? This feels
that.
bad.
That's the only like
He's getting out of it.
I'm
He's
getting out of it right
rewinding.
now. I'm
He's
saying
rewinding.
okay.
Let's go to Zug, and I want to go up there and poke the bear.
You guys want to do threatening, intimidating actions to like
We tried
regular
persuasion first.
people, and you don't want any repercussions of that. And I'm telling you, you can't get one without the other. You're gonna get both.
If Batman fucking intimidates the shit out of people,
Not like
I think
a
it's
shop owner.
I think it's
Batman-
important.
Batman is not a good guy.
Hold on a second. I think
Batman.
Batman is not
He is
good.
chaotic good. He is for sure chaotic good.
yeah, Batman's definitely he's the
Okay,
He's like
actually
we
the-
don't need to talk
Yeah.
about Batman right now. You're
doesn't
not
matter,
in
though.
Gotham City. You're
Are-
in Barovia.
This is important to work out now because he's literally built his character around intimidation.
You
need
can
to-
intimidate people. You can persuade people. You can do
That's what I
all
was
these
So
saying.
things.
roll
Wait,
a
wait,
nat
wait,
20
wait.
on an intimidation check and failed, right? So that
It wasn't a fail. He was super intimidated, and he told you stuff that he wasn't going to.
but he's not.
He has already told you way more than he was ever planning to.
Is it possible to get the information that we want from him without violence?
Yeah.
And without leaving the room?
I just wanted to like, have you decided that there's no way we're getting
Right.
that information from him?
Is this like one of those, you have to do something else and I'm,
Because we feel I feel like we have a lot of problems that we've solved by just being angry and violent instead of trying to explore every option. But I don't know. It feels weird. To
You
explore every
also
option.
now, so here's the thing. You guys have figured out part of his motivation. He actually told you that like he's really lonely.
Yeah.
So you could use that. I'm saying
I
like there are-
tried. I said, hey, we can get you another. We can help
He did.
leverage your skills in a positive way. We can get you to come down to the tavern. With
Yeah,
us.
no, so
I don't know, man.
it should be super frustrating to talk to this guy. This encounter is meant to be extremely frustrating, and you're not really going to get the information that you want.
Let's just go.
He is more scared of whatever is up there than he is of you.
Zod's already going up there, right?
Yeah. Let's have Zod
And
upstairs.
you guys can like really, really try, but at the end of the day, like unless you like physically force him, he isn't gonna go.
Okay,
yeah.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
Then Ramis would stop if that's the sense he gets.
Yeah, you got that sense, yeah. He's and you asked him why he's afraid, and he doesn't even respond to you. He doesn't even want to tell you why he's afraid. He's just like quiet. He's just like, he's a wall. And at this point, like you're like, okay, this guy is fucking useless. And that's what you probably would decide at this point.
But if he does have useful information, like
He is so scared that your nat 20 intimidation was not as scary as him telling you the truth.
Okay.
That is what we're being
well,
told.
can we? Yeah. Okay. So I don't think Zug should just like walk upstairs then.
I think he's doing it. We don't have any control on the
Yeah. All right. All right.
Yeah, so whatever is in this shop, he is deemed scarier than you. If there is anything in this shop. Which again, he's told you, go get the bones if you want to. He's like, I'm not coming.
Okay.
So, Zug's going up the stairs?
Hmm.
Are you guys going up the stairs?
No, hell no.
You're not going up the stairs.
No,
You're staying down.
definitely
Okay. Okay. Is he gonna stay and torture this guy?
No. We're just,
It wasn't-
he decided he wanted to go up the stairs. We're still trying to talk.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
okay.
psychological torture, mental warfare.
Okay.
It's hard to understand why someone wouldn't want to just tell us why it's too scary to go upstairs. Because that doesn't threaten their life in any way.
I guess Remus would just change subjects. And just say, tell us about this man who told you to take the bones.
He says, seemed like a businessman.
Why would you trust him?
He says, I didn't necessarily trust him, but I didn't have a lot of other choices.
So a man you did not trust told you to steal bones, sacred bones from the chapel, and you persuaded the local child to do so.
I didn't know that they were sacred.
Hmm.
He's a simple coffin maker.
Yeah, that's another thing is I want you guys are in your minds of motivation and like how you see the world. Like this guy's like in a totally different, like his motivations and his worldview is super different.
Are you telling me to have empathy for this person?
No, I'm not
With
at
this
all.
person?
I'm
Okay.
not. But what I'm saying is like, I want you to not be surprised if you run into a character in Barovia that's just like,
Dead inside.
I think shrug, like, yeah, I just told a kid to steal the bones feels very surprising, right? Like,
he says,
Some guy you don't trust tells you to
To
tell
go
a kid to steal some
bones.
bones,
and he was like, yeah.
and they're not special. They're just
And it wasn't
bones.
just go
Bones.
steal some bones. It was like bribe the kid.
Yeah.
he paid him. It wasn't a bribe. It was a payment. But I mean, you don't really know that, I
I
guess.
don't know what else that is.
Paying someone for a service.
I mean, I could pay a police officer for a service of not giving me a ticket.
That's a
not
bribe. Yeah, but that's very different, hopefully.
That's
That's
You
a
can
bit of a
see-
bribe because this was
you
a
can see why.
groundskeeper, right? And he's like,
He
Yeah.
literally solicited somebody to do an action in return for money. That's a
that
bribe.
what someone would not normally do.
Right.
Yeah, I would probably. call
A
it.
bad action or a quote unquote.
I mean, it's just a kid. Kid doesn't know any better. He just sees the money.
Just
and goes,
paid
"Hell
a
yeah."
thief to steal something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, how's Zug doing when he's going upstairs?
What do I see when I get to the top of the stairs?
Okay, so that goes up the stairs. And the stairs lead to two doors, one on the east and one on the west.
Okay.
It's
I
a
mean-
narrow staircase that leads up to a single kind of 5-foot square, and there's just door on your left and right.
Okay.
Which door do you want to try?
I want to try the eastern door first.
Okay, so the door on your left, because the stairs go south.
Yeah. Does it open?
It opens.
I will slowly push it open without going.
Okay. Zug slowly pushes the door open without going in. This large drafty room is strung with cobwebs, and it takes up a lot of the upper floor. It's a really big room. Peering in, you can see stacks of wooden planks lie amid several crates that are marked as junk.
Are the crates of junk big enough for someone to hide behind?
Are the crates marked junk big enough for someone to hide behind? Potentially, yes.
Is there a light source at all, or is it completely dark?
There are a couple of windows. The light is faint because it is already super dark and overcast outside, and the windows are frosted.
Do I hear anything?
You don't hear anything.
I will close the door
You close the door.
and try the other door on the west end.
You try the other door. Okay. You open the door on the western side to reveal a room, a smaller room than this one, supposedly. And it is a kitchen. Kitchen has a square table surrounded by chairs and several provisions.
Making bone broth with St. Andrew's bones.
Say that again. It's a kitchen.
It's a
and-
kitchen. There's a square table in the kitchen.
Mhm.
And there's several provisions that you can see in here. And there is also a door leading from the kitchen to go north.
I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and go through the north door.
Okay. You travel through the northern door to arrive in this room here.
Oh, am I okay?
You
to
can
look
see it
at
now, yeah, you can look at
I'm
this.
just like picturing in my mind.
Yeah, you can look at this. So you head into this room. It's a modestly sized room, but now you can't look. So I'm changing. And this is a modest bedchamber. It holds a cot and several well-made pieces of furniture, including a table, a padded chair, bookshelf, and a wardrobe.
It's another cot.
There's another bed up here. Yeah, this one's a bed with a cot on top. Yeah,
Okay, so the one downstairs next to the two cabinets.
it's kind of just a
was like-
bedroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and go back to these guys. Hopefully.
Downstairs.
You guys just wait in silence while I.
You walked away. We were expecting you to come back and let us know what's going
Roommates will
on.
be like,
Okay,
so.
That's fine. I'll go back to the bedroom.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's an actual bed. And
Bed, some well-made pieces of furniture, including a table, padded chair, a bookshelf, and a wardrobe.
can I head over to the wardrobe?
Wardrobe is on the south side of the room. You head over to the wardrobe, and it appears to be a well-made wooden wardrobe.
I want to open the door.
Okay, you open the door, and it has some clothes inside.
Is it? Okay. So.
Yeah,
Okay, nothing like on like near the top.
you're
maybe,
gonna like inspect,
boxes?
search, and things like that.
Yeah.
I will take a perception roll.
I have a +1 with my perception.
Nice.
That was a D6.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
not using that. I just didn't know what I could roll. I'm rolling that for the spirit.
Yeah.
Two.
Fuck.
+1, so 3.
Wait, you roll.
Wait.
No, you roll D20 for a
Oh,
perception
yeah,
check,
sorry.
and you just add your modifier.
The spirit wasn't with me. Hey.
Hey, it's like you roll a D8.
It looks
a
like a
great roll.
super normal wardrobe.
Okay, no boxes or anything. Okay. Can I head over to you said there is a bed, chairs,
A table, a couple
a
chairs,
book,
and a
book-
bookshelf.
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
go to the book.
You check the bookshelf, and it has a couple of old worn books on carpenting.
Just a couple books.
Mhm.
Is there anything else on the shelf?
There's nothing else.
Wow, this guy is lonely.
He's super lonely.
Maybe not, depending on what's up here.
Is there like a general search just for like under the bed and stuff? So I can,
Yeah, you can kind of just like search the room for what you
Yeah, yeah,
find.
yeah.
I'll take like a general perception check
okay,
to see what you find in the room.
D20.
I got you.
What's it?
Hey, 14.
You find nothing of note.
Okay. I'm gonna head over to that creepy junk room again.
Back over to the other side.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Okay, so Zug heads back over to the other side. And you open the door.
Mhm.
Okay. This is what you do. So if you open the door and walk in, this is kind of what you see. Some bunch of wooden planks, couple of crates. There's a whole back side of the room if you go over there.
I will slowly proceed to the other side of the room.
All right, Zug slowly, cautiously proceeds over to this side of the room. You see more wooden planks. You see 6 crates, all marked junk.
I will do a general search.
What are you going to search?
In between the planks, like like in between.
Kind of
the
look in the
thing.
planks. Okay.
Yeah, like any like crevasse,
You're gonna look in the planks.
Yeah, just like around, kind of shift things, make sure there's no obvious places that something would be. Anyway,
Nice.
Okay,
I lift up the crate.
you search through the wooden planks and find nothing of note. I need you to be very specific.
Okay, in my search.
Yes.
Okay, so
Like,
I want to
what do you-
systematically like see if I can jimmy open some of these crates.
Okay, so you're gonna open up this crate?
Yeah,
like
let's
the
let's
first
start
one?
down here.
Okay, you like open up the crate and you look inside and this one is totally empty.
Okay.
You don't
I
have to,
reach in there and just move my hand.
Feel around?
Yeah.
You feel wood and you get a splinter.
Ah, shit. Well, what is it like? D4 damage? I will go do the next crate. That's right next to it, the smaller one.
Okay, so you go to this crate, you look at it. This one's actually not really a crate. It's actually more of like a
Pet
Table.
coffin.
table. Pet coffin.
It's small, anyway.
You open up the drawers of this table
Mhm.
and find nothing of value. A flashlight, a lantern.
Okay.
When are we?
How
Looks
dark
like
is
a
it? Well,
lantern.
I have dark
What is
vision.
this?
Never mind, I have dark vision.
A lantern.
Okay, I will proceed to the next crate.
Okay.
I will do this all midday.
All right. Zed comes over to this next crate and
All morning.
opens it up.
To
And
midday.
it's actually filled with junk.
Just dusty junk.
Bunch of dusty junk.
Okay. Next.
Sawdust covered junk.
Kane knows all about Dusty.
Okay, and you come over to this crate.
You could fill a large box.
Has there been
Still
any,
dusty,
'cause
though.
is there like a lot of sawdust on the floor or dust?
There's a little bit of dust and
Has,
some webs and things.
has anything large been moved that I can see?
Nothing of note.
Okay, so I'll keep going through the crates.
Okay, Zug moves over to the next crate. And Zug, look away, opens up the next crate. And upon opening the lid,
Oh.
a creature
Hmm.
lunges out of the crate towards you
As
with a shriek.
I'm opening the crate lid and he's like, haha.
And it just like lunges towards you with a shriek.
I will let
and-
out my own shriek in counter response.
And upon the shrieking noise, 5 other crates
Oh, Jesus.
bust open. And 6 huge, ghastly vampires emerge.
Vampires.
Vampire spawns, vampires
Run, bitch.
Am I
emerge
engaged?
out of the crates.
Am I engaged with anything? The one that just popped out.
You are not engaged in combat yet, unless you choose to be engaged in combat.
I am going to book it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
Good
going
call.
to ditch. I'm going to run for my pathetic life
Okay. Seems like the
while
right
yelling with the express of letting others know that I am in danger.
Okay,
What do
so
you say?
6 vampires.
I-
6 vampires bust out of these crates and awake and seem to ignore you as you are running away. So the vampires shriek and howl and look at each other as you are running away. They are not engaging you or chasing you. You make it out of the room.
As I noticed this, obviously because I'm not out of the room, was there a difference in the creature that came out of the crate that I opened?
I mean, they are different vampires. But
Okay, yeah, but
there's-
they're all vampires. It's not like a,
as far as you can tell, like
Okay.
you haven't, if you want to book it, you probably have enough time to totally observe, which probably is a good idea.
yeah, no, I want to notice that they're not immediately chasing after me, and I kind of want to like look around as like my hands on the door or something like. Ah,
And as you look behind you, they start to make their way to the door.
okay. I will go through and close the door.
Okay, Zed goes through and closes the door. And are you gonna head downstairs? Are you gonna yell at your compadres?
I will. Can I do both at the same time?
Yes, you can run down the stairs and yell at the same time.
Okay, thank you. No roll necessary.
No, no roll necessary.
I will rush down the stairs and guys see these guys?
No, they're not like visible from where you are, but
Okay,
they
I
might
will
be able
make
to hear
my
you.
way to them.
Okay. You have to go around the,
Oh, I
Establishment.
thought the stairs were in the same room.
no.
Have we
Oh.
heard anything?
So this is the
downstairs?
layout of downstairs. There's actually a door here, but
So
you
this
don't
is
know
where
that it's there.
everyone is there.
Yes.
So I went
So
this
you
way.
Well, you guys went this way. So I guess you could have seen that door and gone that way. I'll say that that's fine. I'll allow it.
Okay, so I want
Book it down the
Barge
stairs
into
and
this
barge
room.
into this
to,
room.
yeah.
Okay. You do that.
Okay. Do I see these guys now?
They're
Okay.
still there. Your friends and
Okay, so I'm a
Henrik
little
are there.
winded because I'm out of shape. And I'll just go, creatures of darkness in the crates, like a lot of them.
Creatures of darkness, you say?
and you can start to hear directly above you. You hear not directly above you, it's technically that way, but
Yeah.
you can hear the clamoring of heavy feet on the ground. And you hear them starting to rush down the stairs. They're coming down.
They'll be here any second.
Henrik, what are you hiding up there?
I'm gonna try to bar the door as best as I can.
They're coming here. We need all the information you can muster, or we may all be dead.
And you have no time for this conversation. The vampires are downstairs. And they burst into the room that you're in. One of them bursts into the room that you are in.
Even though I'm barring the door.
You're holding the door closed?
Yeah.
Okay,
As
it
best
pulls
as I
on the
can.
door. It pulls on the door.
Okay.
And you hear the rest of them making their way out into town.
Out into town?
They go
To
outside.
the front
You
door
hear them go through the front
during
door.
midday.
How'd they get outside? Thought there were no other ways to get
No.
out.
They go
Okay.
through the front door. You guys are still in the
Yeah.
carpenter room.
If you look at the, it makes
Oh.
sense. If
Wait,
you
so
look at
they're-
the,
But it's not daylight right now?
It is, but it is very overcast.
As it always is.
So, so they came down the stairs. You guys are in this room and they're headed that way.
Okay.
One of them starts pulling on the door that you guys are in.
Okay, I think Ramis will run up to meet where Zug is trying to hold the door.
So you guys have a decision to make. You want to continue to question Henrik, or do you want to go after them, or what do you want to do?
Go after, I don't know what they are.
we should deal with this vampire that's trying to
I-
possibly go after Henrik.
Ramis is running up the stairs to like help. Zug.
There's not enough of us to go chase after all of
No.
them, so we should deal with.
Also, I
them.
don't know what we would do against them. just
Six
yet.
vampires?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get our asses.
Do I know what vampires are? Are
Vampire
they
spawn.
vampire spawn? Do I,
They look like vampires to you,
okay, so I do know what a vampire.
like a vampire is.
Yeah.
You've definitely heard of a vampire, just like regular people have heard of vampires.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and the one that is pulling on the door, as soon as it feels that it can't get in, relinquishes and leaves.
To the front door, I assume.
It leaves. I mean, you don't necessarily know.
Do we want to engage him?
I think Ramis will turn to you and say, seems to have left. Let's get the bones.
Let's get the bones and get back to the church.
Okay, so I did not see bones up there. It's just his living space, and then
I have detect magic going. I could probably see them if they are anywhere
I
within
think
range.
we'll just ask the guy, like, where are the bones? It seems as
Yeah.
though your guests have left, so you have no reason not to tell
I'll
us.
turn to Henrik and make. I'll get the bones. Just tell me where they are.
He says they're in the wardrobe upstairs.
Okay.
And
Ramis,
that was empty.
Yeah, but I had a shitty search,
Oh.
so
We run up there.
Go
I've got
upstairs
detect
to-
magic going too.
I'll lead the way.
So you guys run up the stairs. You head to the bedroom.
Is Henrik staying downstairs?
Yes.
that's fine.
Perception checks.
Can I not see a glowing aura of bones? If these are magical, I should be able to see it.
Perception checks.
15.
I think it's for the vampire film.
You find a secret
19.
compartment
Son of a biscuit.
that you did not see before. You open it and there's nothing inside.
I look up towards my compatriots and be like, there's nothing here.
Is Sandra still downstairs with what's his name?
Syndra,
We don't know where Syndra's been.
Kenna's
She's probably
Kenna's
dying
like
right now.
dead.
A little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, Kenna's like dead.
Sorry,
Um,
guys.
It's cool if you just listen.
But Syndra, who may have been on watch,
My owl's been out there too.
sees one of the vampires with a sack that took off.
I did run a 27 on perception.
Nice.
One of the vampires has a sack with it, and it has taken off.
Which way did it
Wait,
go?
what? Oh, we know because of the bird syndrome. Okay.
yeah.
It went west.
Hot pursuit.
So you tell us that there's one with a bag. Okay.
So once we see the bones are missing, I think Rami's will turn to the party and say, what do we want to do with him downstairs? Should we?
We'll deal with him later.
But he might leave.
And
If he does, so what?
What was he doing with these creatures? in
let
his
me
attic?
ask you this, Ramis. If he flees, is that worse than vampires fleeing? With the bones, no less.
Is he sourcing vampires? These questions deserve to be answered, and he might have answers.
You have a choice
I
to
feel like
stay and
since
question Henrik if you'd like,
Or I could time to something and just come back to him later, is what I'm thinking.
yeah, I'd be down with that.
deal with this issue.
I mean, this is his business too, so I kind of think he
But
has
you'd be like but they weren't in coffins, they were in boxes.
the crates.
You're
Not
welcome
even.
to stay. I
You
am
get the
pursuing.
sense from your conversations with him, this is like not a man who knows a lot. Like there is
This
just
is
shit
beyond him.
happening to him.
I'm going
Yeah,
after them.
you get this sense.
Okay.
Going
He is not
west
the
further
smartest,
down.
most charismatic person. He's not clever enough to be knowing what's going on. He's just afraid.
You're gonna book it at maximum speed.
Yeah, my vote is to book it.
I guess I'll follow Kane because I don't know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah,
Going after the.
I don't know where.
The owl would have seen which one had the sack of bones,
Mhm.
because also the owl would have had the ability. I can see through the owl's eyes, and I have detect magic. So I assume, did I see a glowing bag?
The bones are actually not magical.
They're just sacred.
Okay.
Yeah. So
course it
it
does,
just
yeah.
looks like a bag to you. You guys don't even really know that that bag has the bones in it, but based off of the shape of the bag, it kind of looked maybe like they were bones inside.
Right. Okay. Yeah, Ramis is following Kane wherever he's going.
All right, you guys book it. After the one that has the bag, that's
Mhm.
headed east,
Yeah, probably.
headed west, sorry, it's headed west. And you guys also know that the church is west.
Yeah, we're heading.
Oh, he's gonna return them.
Let's
Um,
make sure they do their due
Yeah,
diligence.
make sure they put it in the right floorboard.
You head out the doors of the shop. It is still raining and the downpour has taken new life
Hmm.
and it is now pouring outside and the rain is thick and the fog is thick.
Cats and dogs.
It's raining cats and dogs.
Thicker
You
than an
see, as
ice
soon as
cream
you walk
vendor.
out, there's a house across the street and a man is standing in front of the house being assaulted by one of the vampires. He's being lifted by the vampire and the
Okay.
vampire looks like it is about to
Ramis will run towards that scene.
dig into
probably.
the man.
Same.
Okay, so you guys are gonna run
I'm
towards
continuing towards the church. I'm
Yeah,
going
I think
straight
like Ramis will call out to Kane, like,
splitting up.
continue to follow the one that you seem to be following. Because I don't think Ramis knows about the bag yet.
So Kane is booking it after with his little man legs, booking it after
He's
the
pretty
one.
fast.
I'm great. Yeah, I'm just as fast as anybody
So
else.
you can
Yeah.
hustle on your turns for 60 feet per turn,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
you can almost keep up with the vampire.
Okay.
It's a little faster than you.
But Zug and I are turning our attention towards this one that's about to like
Mhm.
murder this person.
Okay, so you guys turn your attention towards this one that's about to seemingly bite into this man.
What does Sintra do?
Do these vampires have like wings or anything like that?
They do not have wings that you can see.
Somebody want anything?
Nope.
Still working. So this vampire, as you approach it, it sinks its fangs into the man's neck and feeds on him in front of your eyes.
Oh, shit.
Not good. Not good.
However, it may be vulnerable while doing this.
Can I make it in time to intercept the vampire?
It is too far.
Not to prevent the biting, but can I get there while he's still feeding?
Yeah.
Okay, I will run up to him and
Engage in
him.
combat.
Yeah.
Okay, roll initiative.
While I'm running after those guys, can I cast Fly myself and go real fucking fast?
What's the fly spell?
60 feet flying speed, so it's double speed.
And then like, if you were to like hustle, it'd be like 120 feet.
Yeah, actually.
Okay, dude. You're a fast fucking wizard.
You just fly.
You guys didn't see me though. I ran off before I cast it.
All right. I think Hermes will think to himself, he'll never catch it.
Yeah, I want you guys to be like concerned for the church's sake.
I got a 17. Did you roll?
I got a 13.
Okay. And what did you roll? Sorry,
13.
I thought you had 13.
No, 17.
17. Okay. You both are gonna go before. So Zug, you're gonna get to attack. You're going to get to take a first action.
I'm gonna attack him.
Okay.
Go straight for the head. No, I gotta do attack. Give me a second. 15.
That. Give me one moment to open up my sheet.
If that doesn't hit, we're gonna just let this man die.
Probably.
You're gonna be like, "Ah, fuck it."
Yeah, we're just gonna cheat.
So you want to get after Kane?
Zach walks up, like swings and misses, and we're like, we're out of here. Oh shit.
Sorry, I'm just opening up my sheet here. Got it open.
I like this costume.
It does not hit.
Oh my Jesus.
I get another attack.
Okay.
Wow, what is he flying around while biting? 23.
That does hit.
23, that's all it took.
7 plus 2, 9 damages.
What type of damage?
Slashing.
Half it.
Huh?
Half that.
You need a
4.5 then.
silver weapon.
Yeah, we need to silver your shit. But
I will round up. 5 damage.
Okay. Thank you for the 0.5.
You're welcome.
Okay, so is combat begin with my attack or with
No,
me running?
you should have rolled initiative before you attacked.
we
We did.
We did.
Oh yeah, then yeah, you're in combat.
Okay, so do I get another action? Or was
That was
option
your-
not
That was
to?
your action.
That was your action. You walked up and attacked him. That's an action.
I get 2 attacks with 1 attack.
You
action.
just did. You just tried to attack twice.
No,
and
no,
you
no. What
failed
he's
the
saying is
first
he
one.
has an extra attack now. You can roll.
Yeah.
But he
again.
just did 2 attacks.
Oh, you did?
That's literally what you just did.
Yeah, but that's 1 attack action.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
just get 2 attack
With
actions.
every attack action, I get 2
Yeah,
attacks.
It's not to attack
You only,
It
you
is
only
to
get
look it up.
one.
full attack
You can
actions.
attack twice per
Mhm.
turn. You don't get to do twice.
So
This-
when I level 20 and I get 4 attack actions, can you look it up?
Yeah.
With my attack action.
Mhm.
So I get 4 actions.
it's 4 attacks, not in it.
With it, with what I read, it says it should be near the bottom, extra attack.
You can attack twice whenever you take the attack action on
Yeah.
your turn. You don't get 2 attack actions.
Mhm.
You get 1 attack action.
Yeah,
You
with
attack
one
twice.
attack action, I attack twice.
Yeah.
And you
So
just
I have
did.
another action.
He just did attack twice,
You
didn't
don't
he?
have- you
He
don't
rolled a
have another
15 the
action.
first time
This
to
isn't
attack and it missed. You
imperial
rolled a
assault.
23 the second time to attack and
You
it
have
hit.
a move action and an action.
Okay, okay.
You also have
So
a
you
bonus
took
action
an
twice.
attack action.
Oh.
You just did attack twice.
No.
Didn't
I
he?
get it now.
He's getting-
I'm
he's getting
mixing it
confused
up with
with
another.
Okay, you did attack twice.
Yes.
Okay, your turn is over.
Okay.
It's Ramise's turn.
You have a solar sword, don't you?
I do. But I'm like wondering if magic would be more effective. Yeah, I guess Remise is.
You have radiant damage. It's great.
I don't. I should have taken something. I don't have options of radiant damage. Yeah, Remise will just kind of like come running through the rain at the assailant currently being assailed and swing at it.
Okay, you're gonna attack it with
A
your
silvered short sword.
silver short sword, okay?
That's a 14.
Will not hit.
And then he's going to follow up with his normal short sword. And that's a 24.
That will hit.
And then the damage is 4.
What type of damage?
The vampire killing damage, I believe is the
That's
type.
gonna be 2 damage.
God damn.
It's piercing, yeah.
He seems barely injured.
Yeah. Right. How far did I have to move to step down?
Close to 30 feet, probably your entire movement.
Stop eating chicken. Hungry, but I want pizza.
We'll order pizza soon.
Yeah.
We're gonna be done in like 10 or 15 minutes.
Are
We'll
we?
finish up. Yeah, I'll finish up in about 10 or
Why?
15 minutes.
Yeah,
You
why?
should just keep going. As
Yeah.
long as McKenna can handle it.
Well,
McKenna cannot handle
McKenna
it.
might
She's
not.
gone.
McKenna can zonk out, and we'll have notes. But
we need McKenna to kill
I
these
feel
things.
like we would end as soon as. it
She
gets
might still
back.
be listening.
Yeah, that's fine. She can take a nap while she listens.
I am still listening, but I'm about to die.
Aw.
You know.
Sorry,
Oh.
guys.
No, I think we're probably gonna wrap up in about 10 or 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
Okay. You guys spent a lot of time.
Negotiating with the armor.
Armor.
I didn't spend that long.
Is this real metal on these studs? Yes, sir.
You seem like quite the armorer.
Okay, all right. It's now the vampire's turn.
Yeah.
Okay. The
I'll
vampire
protect you.
looks towards you and he turns towards you and he hisses and he says, I haven't eaten in months. He says, you look ripe. And he lunges towards Zug.
I feel like it's true. I haven't had a shower in a while.
You can feast on my shield.
He lunges at Zug.
I have neck armor, by the way.
Yeah. Natural orc neck armor.
20.
Okay, yeah, just I should have
Does that
gotten
hit?
I should have gotten the studded armor. It's plus
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, plus
yeah.
one. Plus one to whatever armor class you're currently.
Yes, it
Put it on top of your chain.
Yeah, Remise looks at your chain now and says, you can use some studs in that
Studded chain.
chain.
So it reaches out to you with its claws and it grapples you.
Oh.
Okay. I
It
can
is.
grapple.
It successfully grapples you.
Okay, we're hugging. We're dancing.
That's it. That's its turn.
Okay.
It's your
Is it
turn.
gonna
So you can roll.
rough you?
You can roll to escape the grapple.
Is it my
Uh,
turn?
It is your turn. The man who has been bitten is incapacitated.
What are the benefits of? Is it like he's grappling me,
He is grappling you.
or does it differ from me grappling him? Is he at a disadvantage if he's grappling me to like Ramise's attacks?
No,
No.
Okay.
no. You.
He's in control in that situation.
So your speed is 0.
Mhm.
And essentially, you can make a save to ungrapple yourself.
I will ungrapple myself.
Um,
What is that? Strength,
no.
dexterity, ungrappleness.
Bag of dice.
Mhm. Yeah.
Grapple.
I think it's just strength contested by strength or dexterity.
Dexterity. It's going to be a dexterity.
Dexterity.
It will be a dexterity. Yes, it is a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
So
in,
go ahead and
in reaction to seeing Zug trying to break free from this vampire, Bernice would yell words of encouragement.
You can do it.
Something to the tune of "You can do it."
I think I
do it in the
can.
form of a song.
I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. No.
So you get to add 1d8 to that.
Oh, one.
Nice.
I was wishing you would roll higher in the first place.
10 total.
Wow. You rolled an extra D8 and you still got a 10 total?
Yeah.
that's your whole action.
Fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
You remain
I-
grappled.
I'm not gonna bite him.
Yeah. So it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
That would shock him.
I think
Who's a vampire?
Bernice would like to. Wait, is there any reason not to try and curse a vampire?
Aren't they already cursed? Isn't that? what
That just
being
means
a
they should be like more susceptible to more curses, right?
Kinda,
Yeah,
yeah. Because I mean, you cursed me once, shame on me. Curse me
you
twice,
you're weak to curses.
also shame on me. But like to a
First
more of a
Yeah, more shame. Remis is going to attempt to bestow a curse upon this vampire.
Mhm.
The curse being
A life full of thirst.
do we think it has high wisdom?
Vampire? Probably not.
Really?
Do you think it has high wisdom?
I mean, are we metagaming right now?
No.
I would say
I'm just
strength. Can you
asking.
do
Zug.
strength?
I'm like, how wise do you think?
I'm
Vampires are
grappling right
pretty
now.
Strong. They're pretty dexterous. They're not necessarily super smart. They're not necessarily wise.
Okay, in that case,
I would do strength if you can
I am going to attempt to give it disadvantage on any attack rolls against with this curse.
That's good.
And so it needs to roll a wisdom saving throw at 15. Fuck, dude. All right, Hermes will just stand there.
the vampire isn't strong, but Danny's rolls are.
I know, it's so fucking annoying.
Don't laugh.
Have Josh roll for that save.
Can you roll for my ungrappleness?
Was that a 20? What was
This is
it?
an
That's
18.
an 18.
God damn it.
Unfair.
Wait, can Josh roll for the vampire then? Can we make that count?
Oh my god.
That's a 3.
Oh my god. You might want to upgrade the digital dice, dude.
You're cursed.
You cursed me.
Zug is cursed.
Yeah. Sorry, I just
So-
read the spell.
The vampire, upon grappling Zug, now that it is his turn, reaches over with his mouth and bites Zug.
Attempts to bite.
Attempts to bite Zug. Yeah.
You're about to become a fucking.
No, I'm supposed to roll.
No, it's 2 hits. No, I rolled to hit.
You can get it.
It's a 22.
Yeah, it hits. DM.
Are you having fun?
Oh boy.
A little. I don't like to punish you.
What
But
are
I
we
love
punished
to
for?
bite
It's
you.
not my fault. I didn't choose this.
Oh man, we're gonna have to remove a curse off of Zug.
Yeah, we definitely chose for vampires to explode out of the crates
Oh
upstairs.
god.
I mean, you went and searched the room.
No, Zug did.
That was all Zug. We
All Zug.
had no intention of searching.
You take 6 piercing damage and you take 7 necrotic damage.
Are those two separate instances? So 13 damage total.
13 total.
Oops. Inspiration.
And the vampire, upon feeding on your energy, appears to start healing the tiny wounds that you made on it.
This is beyond us.
I think
Yeah.
literally everything is beyond us.
Oh man.
Well, it's D&D Beyond, man. I don't know. Like, why?
Yeah, I don't even know what I can throw at this thing. I got nothing for you, Zug.
It is Zug's turn.
I will attempt to ungrapple again. I mean, there's not much I can do. I can bite him back.
No, you can't. You don't have a bite attack.
The
Improvised
DM
weapon.
said, yeah. The
Improvised
DM,
weapon.
if the DM says I could bite, I could bite.
Yeah,
Can I
you
bite?
Improvised weapon is
You could
1d8,
bite him.
1d4 or 1d6 or something like that.
It's whatever she says. It is.
Yeah. Quick giving the DM ideas.
Yeah. Don't be Nathan. Yeah, ungrapple.
What was
It's a 3.
Again.
it? Oh boy.
Zug might be dead.
Yeah, dude. I got nothing to help Zug too. Okay.
As you are engaged with this vampire and Kane is zipping through the
let's
sky,
switch storylines. for a minute.
chasing this
Mhm.
vampire with a sack of bones. You get pretty close to the vampire with sack of bones, and suddenly you hear a very loud, prominent neighing sound.
Creepy as.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Save us again.
And it sounds as though it is coming from the sky itself.
God damn it. Why is there a fucking horse in this guy?
Horses in the sky can never be
It's
good.
Gandalf the way.
Unless it's Pegasus.
The vampire looks up.
Wasn't me. I swear.
The rest of you see descending from the sky a huge midnight black flaming horse
Dope.
That's not good.
descending the sky through the rain.
Who is it descending towards? Do we know?
It is headed west.
Oh,
The vampire lets go of you.
Attack of opportunity.
Now I bite.
Let's go. You're holding your action for the bite.
So
Is he fleeing?
the vampire lets go of you and just stops what it's doing and looks and is watching the horse.
Fucking Strahd, goddamn.
As it starts to get closer and descends towards the town, you see that there is a man riding the horse.
Can Ramis try to attack this vampire?
Do we want to, or we want to ditch?
You guys have a long way to fly. I mean, run.
Probably attack it.
It's been like 2 turns, so it's probably you guys are
I think that
probably.
whole time Ramis is just stabbing.
I got hit once, and it was 13 damage.
The
Yeah, you're fine.
the
Can you
vampire
curse me with hell?
attempts to disengage
can't.
from you. It's
I-
going to disengage.
I will attack. I mean, that's free attack.
Mhm. If he disengages on his turn, you don't provoke an attack of opportunity, but I will let you. Well, you're still
It has to
grappled.
disengage
So
with
no.
both of us.
Yeah, but he's still grappled, so it actually is your turn because he rolled to ungrapple.
Should I
But it is your
attack
turn.
it? Should I attack it?
At this point, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Check this out.
Checking it.
Rumi's
Checking
going
it
to
twice.
cast Dissonant Whispers on this vampire. Those whispers will sound something like this. And it needs to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Yes, it
God,
passes.
But that wasn't
damn
even
it.
a roll. That was not. You just like let it fall
Are
off
you
your
doing
hand.
ball rolls?
That was a palm roll.
Here, use
You
the.
gotta shake it up.
the
Use
thing.
yeah. I want to see a real roll.
Yes!
Oh, in your
Yeah!
Ugh!
Fuck you,
Victory of the
vampire!
night.
Ah! One win all night.
I have dissonantly whispered to that vampire. So it is going to take 3d6 damage, 12 damage,
What type of thing?
psychic damage,
It's called half damage.
Very few
and
things are resistant.
exactly. And it needs to immediately move as far as it can away from me.
Okay, it does that willingly.
Yeah. But it also, like, I heard it.
Okay, you heard it. How much damage? 3d6?
12.
12 damage.
Does that provoke an opportunity attack?
It would from me, because I'm in melee range.
Seems OP, but yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
But would anything disengaging me provokes a
But like
Attack of
it's
opportunity.
moving on your turn, so I think it can only provoke an opportunity of attack on its turn.
attack. Yeah, that might be true. Force movement does not provoke an attack of opportunity.
There you go. Moving on. It's Vampire's turn, and now
Wait, I
it
don't know that.
freely disengages from both of you and runs off into the foggy night.
West or?
It runs off into the east.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Am I cursed? Was there a special kind of thing with that?
You don't know. You don't feel anything yet, except for pain.
Pain.
But an enemy always provokes opportunity attack when it's used to reach. Doesn't matter if it's turn it is, it says.
Yeah, but it's also force. Does that matter?
Well, that was like a different, I don't know if that rule. I
Pathfinder?
think that's like if you like throw it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's talking about force spells, like if you use like repelling blast, like to like just. But if this guy's like walking away from me, which I don't understand why that would be different than like it just walking away from me. And it doesn't sound like it matters. I just want to clarify in case this comes up again on an.
Not like we're
enemy.
gonna do any damage to it anyway.
Exactly. Like that's why I'm like it doesn't matter this time, but like in the future, I don't want something to walk away from me and me not get that.
But that you brought a good point. I need to silver my weapons. I need to go Witcher status on this. Yeah.
So can you read how it makes it move?
It walks away.
Like what does it say? Like, and the enemy walks away from you? Like, what does it say?
If it moves as far as its speed allows away from
But like before that, like rewind. It takes damage.
It moves. Like what do you?
I just want you to read the whole thing. That's all.
You whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction.
That's what I wanted to hear. It must immediately use its reaction. That does provoke an opportunity attack. That's what I'm waiting to hear.
Okay.
So because it has to use its reaction, that is its turn. Therefore, it does provoke an opportunity attack.
It doesn't matter whose turn it is.
Reactions are not turns.
A reaction is its thing that it does, so it provokes an opportunity of attack. A forced movement, like you forcing it to move, wouldn't provoke an opportunity of
I see.
attack because it has to use its reaction. That is it performing something,
It's
and that
moving.
means
Wait,
it is
You
moving.
aren't forcing it to move, it is moving.
I know, but like where does it say me forcing it to move wouldn't provoke an opportunity attack.
It just D&D rules say a forced movement doesn't provoke an
But I
opportunity
think
attack.
like, but
but
the
a
examples it
reaction-
uses are like force spells. Like I'm like if I blew it up away from me, I wouldn't be able to.
Right, and
attack.
but because it's using a reaction, that does provoke an opportunity attack.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you're throwing.
That's what I
It's
wanted to
just
hear.
running away
That's what
from
I
it.
was listening for in
Yeah, I
the
know.
explanation.
Not walking.
Yeah.
Walking.
It is choosing to walk away. Like it is making a decision. You are like
It's really
getting it to
scared.
do its thing. Right.
But I guess I'm just saying, like,
Thematically.
even if I mind controlled something and had it walk away from me, why would you're saying
That's
that?
not it performing a reaction.
But
You see what
why
I mean?
wouldn't I get an opportunity?
You would. No, you wouldn't because you are forcing its movement rather than it moving on its own
I
accord.
guess I take issue with that. Then. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, if you attack it and then if you force it to move and then attack it, like you're not going to be mind controlling it anymore.
That's fine.
What I'm saying is when the creature decides to move, you get an attack of opportunity. When the creature does not decide to move, you don't get an attack of opportunity. That's just how it works.
Okay.
Because it's not opportunistic at that point. You know what I mean? If like you're mind controlling it, it's not an opportunistic attack. Anyways, you've heard the word.
Yeah.
It is the bird.
Okay.
We are moving on. It runs off into the night.
I slashed it with my sword bolt.
Do you want to chase it?
I don't think so.
Oh. My vote is no. I want to be grappled again.
6 vampires.
The flaming horse begins
vampires.
to descend. And it is descending upon near Kane's location.
Oh god.
The few people who are about the streets in Vallaki go abso-fucking-lutely nuts. They are screaming in horror and terror, screaming bloody murder, so much so that the rest of the people of the town start to come out of their homes and just peek out their front doors to see what's going on. Okay. The sky ablaze begins to descend towards Kane. The vampire that you were chasing slows down and stops in the middle of the town, quite close to town square. The flaming horse descends in front of you next to the vampire. The vampire hands the sack to the man atop the horse.
All this is happening faster than I am moving.
You,
Can Kane like
it's
Harry
a
Potter grab
flying
the sack?
horse.
But he's flying too. Could you like snatch the sack?
I'm flying at 120.
It is flying
Feet per
much
6
faster
seconds.
than you. It does eventually make it down. So the spawn hands the bones to the man, and the man hops off his horse. And at this point, you make it there. You're right there. So
Engagement.
you can do whatever,
Grab
like
the
you can
snitch.
react
Wizard.
however you want. You're not in combat or anything like that. So this is one of the most impressive things you have ever seen, by the way. I want to make it really clear how fucking impressive this is.
Majestic.
Does he see the?
The most
red?
impressive thing, what?
It's one of the most impressive things you've ever seen. And Kane is old. Kane is like, what the actual fuck?
And
Do I recognize the man?
So the man,
Strahd, obviously. Flaming horses.
No.
the man
Is it
stands
Dwayne-
just over
Dwayne The
6
Rock
feet
Johnson?
tall.
Let her speak.
The man stands just over about 6 feet tall. He's lean, with a gaunt face, but also somewhat muscular. He has hypnotic dark eyes. His skin is pale. He's wearing a blood red cloak. It has golden toggles all the way up, leading up to the collar. His long black hair. You recognize this man.
It's
This
the
is
toy man.
none other
Doesn't really-
than the devil himself.
doesn't want to enter the-
I have two things in the back of my head that I could try.
Should probably-
I think they're both pretty fucking cool, but
Do it, man.
Danny strikes me as a DM that is not gonna let me get away with shenanigans.
No, she will.
Yeah, try it again. Wait, have we finished describing
Yeah.
Strahd?
That is the end of my explanation. If you want to like do something in this time, I'm gonna allow you to do it.
Does he regard Kane? in any
I'm
way?
gonna like give Kane a moment to like decide what he wants to do. You can just like watch. He will interact with you.
With my action, I will openly weep.
You're not there yet. You probably would take- You guys would probably take around 20 seconds to get there.
Ramis is picking Zug up off the floor and like brushing him off and like looking at the civilian that was attacked.
The civilian is incapacitated, but not dead.
Oh,
Doesn't appear to be dead.
Ramis will kick him in the face. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to earn the evil time.
Why are you like this?
Ramis will try to what I forget the action, stabilize him.
Okay. I'm gonna have my hands in my cloak because it's fucking raining really hard, right? How hard is it raining? Like pouring rain, right?
It's definitely raining.
Okay.
Cast rainball.
I'm gonna use shape water to cause all of the water above Strahd to solidify into a giant 5-foot cube and let gravity do its thing.
Nice.
Strahd is now wet.
It's a ball of ice, a block of
Hmm.
a 5-foot block of ice. It's extremely heavy, as you know.
Hmm.
Solid blocks of ice tend to be.
Yeah.
And it
what
it
the
only
shot-
takes
that's what the
it
shot-
only takes somatic components, so I don't have to say anything to cast the spell.
Oh yeah. You just gesture in your
Inside
pockets.
my robe, yeah. I'm doing like a fucking
Solid
Naruto
invisible
bullshit
Rubik's
inside.
Cube right now.
This is the only thing I can.
I like it. That's dope. Let's do it. Let's do it.
He seems to be very full of himself and perhaps distracted, and this is immediately above his head, so it's outside of his line of sight.
He does have an eyeball on that.
Oh,
Don't
well,
have to look
then
close.
we're all fucked at that point, right? Falling objects, by the way, in D&D do a lot of damage.
Do they?
It's based on their weight. And a 5-foot block of ice is
5
extremely
feet,
heavy.
Ice weight. 640 pounds.
5-foot cube of ice, 640 pounds.
That's pretty heavy. That would hurt me if it landed on me.
Strahd glances up. The ice block shatters. He is
That would
beyond-
be
He is beyond you.
Okay.
And then this fails.
doing?
This fails to say, like, sorry. You got this. I think you just won the
We-
campaign. Use it.
Strahd is-
That'd be great.
Strahd is crushed. The curse breaks. The sky brightens.
All the vampire spawn crumbled.
No.
That doesn't happen? What do you mean?
Okay.
I thought I was just gonna say-
Actually, .2 tons.
How would it possibly weigh 3.2 tons? Show your math, dude.
How many gallons fit in a 5-foot cube?
Something help me.
Let me help you. figure that out.
probably. Let Danny do it.
In the middle of them.
Oh, what's the address?
182 Midcrest Way.
Are you ordering pizza?
No, Ashley's going.
I can order some pizza right now, while our DM calculates the cane stuff.
Yeah.
So
Want me to ask Ash what kind of pizza she wants? And Russ? Because they're gluten intolerant.
Probably gluten free.
he,
Yeah, but like what toppings they want.
Just kidding.
so you
Yes,
use
you
this
should.
cantrip
Mhm.
to form an ice cube, a giant ice cube
I'm water breathing.
Yeah.
above
I mean,
his
you're playing to
head.
your audience. I appreciate it.
I'm Katara.
I think
And-
this would kill me. So.
I'm already dead.
Oh, shit.
It takes time for that to form momentum.
Straw steps to the side.
What's the range on it? I think the range is pretty good. It's like it's up in the air quite a ways.
Okay, so you want to cast it up in the air, like way
Yeah.
above him? Like how far?
Far enough for it to do a good chunk of damage. Where's my range? 60 feet or something? It's like 60 feet.
Okay, like he immediately notices, transforms into a bat and flies away.
Okay.
Well, you got him to run though. Yeah.
He flies to the side of it and
Oh.
then transforms back into himself.
Okay.
I was gonna say
And
the
the
back-
ice
carrying the
Hits
bag.
the ground nearby
Does it
and
crush the
shatters.
vampire spawn?
No, it was
What?
not directly
It
underneath
wasn't
it.
cool enough.
I like the attempt. That will not be enough. But I really like the attempt.
Do it again when we were at the end of the campaign.
Just tell him like, look over there, and then try again right
So at this point, let me do some calculations for how far. Okay, so at this point, you are pretty close to the church. Probably not. You'd have to book it for like 5 minutes to get to the church. I don't know if you've been booking it for 5 minutes at this point. It's probably only been a few minutes.
Yeah.
I want it to be in front of the church because it's so much more dramatic. That's okay.
Let's put it in front of the church.
This happens in a couple of minutes from now. No, it's okay. And he says, he looks to you, Kane, and he says, gather your friends. I have some important details to divulge.
You can get bent, vampire spine.
He laughs at
I
you.
was trying to say swine, but my throat caught.
He laughs at you. He chuckles. And he says, he's holding the bag of bones.
How do you hold the bag of bones and turn into a bat?
I mean,
It's Strahd, dude. Magic.
he's holding the bag of bones.
That's a 5th level spell.
Yeah.
Hold bag while back.
Bag that.
Bad boy bat.
And he says to you, do you know what these bones represent?
Well, I know they're not magical.
By the way, he's like steaming a little bit. You see like little steam drops, kind of steam like little fleck off him as it is raining.
Is it holy water?
It's not holy water.
It's definitely not nice.
But it is water, and vampires don't do particularly well in running water. But he's standing in it like it means fucking nothing to him.
But did the vampires spawn? Were they affected?
Yeah, like they're having little steam hits as well. So it's like you can see they look a little steamy.
Should have just let them grapple you until it died.
And
It
then
won't
return grapple.
die, but
It'll be mildly uncomfortable.
It
Which
will
is
be
more than
uncomfortable.
I did.
Yeah.
He says, but do you know what they mean? He's like, for sure, super condescending. He's like, do you know what they mean?
Do you?
They
Yeah,
mean
that-
enough
yeah,
for you
that's
to
what I'm
steal
saying.
them.
Do you even know?
Maybe he'll snap.
These
his neck
bones
if
must
it's
represent a protection from you. I can see no other reason for you to wish them to be taken so badly.
He inhales. He says, Saint Andrel was no priest nor holy figure, though he did devoutly believe in the Morning Lord. He lived many centuries ago. At that time, the church actually wasn't a church at all, but it was Andrel's home. As he continues to lecture,
Cast ice block.
this
over his
monologue
body.
at you.
Cast whole
Yeah,
person.
however long this is taking, every 6 seconds I'm casting another ice.
Oh, shit.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Yes. He's like he's monologuing while they're doing combat. You know, it's like an epic battle conversation.
If he's truly mocking me and he can,
He's
I
not
don't know
mocking
how,
you. He's telling you a story.
he can apparently sense that above him, which means I'm gonna keep.
It's
doing
going
it.
to take a lot of your energy to keep doing that, to just keep like,
Cantrips don't take any energy.
I mean, you can just sit there and do that forever.
I can. That's literally what a cantrip is.
I'm gonna say
I mean,
that
you
this
can
requires,
DM in whatever you
this is
want.
gonna require stamina for you to keep this up.
You do whatever you
But
want.
it's like a fight scene conversation, not like a static conversation. You know, so they're both like.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just sit here and listen.
And then like Strahd's like dodging him, just then telling him the story at the same time.
My
He
learn
needs to know that I'm
something.
not taking his shit.
Just cast whole person on it.
Like, here's the thing. Like, he 100% like can just like do whatever he wants right now. So like,
Then he needs to do whatever the fuck he wants.
okay,
right now.
I'm gonna have him do it. All right.
Kane's swinging.
Okay. He is going to, God,
Obliterate your pelvis.
like, I'm trying not to kill you, but to make you sit and listen.
Item.
Grab.
No, I think he's just gonna charm
Oh.
so that you have to listen.
All right, where's the gas
Um,
then?
Okay. Yeah, he's just gonna go ahead and
Would you
cast
sit
charm.
still, please, so I can tell you the story?
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, it's so close to that.
20.
That is going to resist.
Yes.
You
I'm
are
so
going
mad.
to resist being charmed.
At least make him use all his spell slots.
Do I feel a tingle? What does he do?
He looks at you and regards you like a fly.
I cast another ice block.
Oh god.
Actually, no. Do I have something
No,
else I
at
could
this
do
point-
that would actually make him?
At this point, he will not monologue and tell you all of his information as he was going to, but instead, what he does is he conjures a deep black red fire and he burns the sack in front of you.
Hmm.
and it turns to dust.
What a reward we do with this studded leather.
So he makes a show of destroying the bones with a magical fire. And after he does this, he says, "Nowhere is safe now." He remounts the giant steed and flies back off into the night.
As he's flying off back in the night, I yelled at him, "Strong words for the puppet of vampire!"
Snap.
He continues to fly off.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you heard.
yeah, he doesn't have very good hearing. He can only sense ice blocks above his head, 60 feet in the air.
And as he flies off, you guys can see the giant horse flaming through the sky.
Now I will drop to my knees in the mud, put my hands upon my face, openly weep, and just say, "The end times are near."
Rumis will put his hand on Zug's shoulder dramatically.
And say, "You're right."
And encouraging words, I roll 5 tears.
Bardic inspiration minus 1d8 tears.
The vampire who handed him the bones
Oh god.
takes off and heads west, which was the direction it was already running.
And we can keep chasing after it. It should know something. It was able to talk to us.
Yeah.
I mean, the bones are gone now, so we can either go back to the coffee maker, which probably won't have anything, or we can try to, as a group, all 4 of us tackle one vampire spawn.
Well, how many were there again? Is that a six?
6.
Jesus. There's no point.
And we're gonna stop there. Okay. And to recap,
Hmm.
you guys went to the coffin shop.
We went to the armorer.
You went to the armorer, you're right. You went to the armorer. She had some armor, but it was really expensive.
Was
And-
it studded leather +1? It was just regular studded.
Regular studded leather.
Yeah.
And so you decided that that was not for you. So instead, you went to the coffin maker, and the coffin maker was a huge drag. And you had to break into his shop. And it seems like he was afraid of something. He didn't want to talk to you about it. He was very reluctant to give any information. He was super stubborn. And then you guys decided, Zug decided to go upstairs and explore. He eventually found a bunch of crates filled with vampires who burst out and ran down the stairs to go out into the town and wreak havoc on the townspeople. One of them took a bag of bones and ran off with it. Within 4 or 5 minutes of all that happening, you guys attempted to save one of the villagers who was being attacked by one of the vampires.
Did I not say?
He didn't die. He's just incapacitated as far as you can tell. So you maybe did save him. Yeah. And you engaged in combat with one of the vampires who seemed to take pretty little damage.
Until I fucking dissonantly whispered it.
No, you didn't
to
like
it.
that. You didn't like that at all. Cain pursued the vampire with the sack of bones,
Yeah.
and upon meeting up with that vampire, a giant flaming black horse descended from the sky with Strahd on it. Strahd seemed to give absolutely no fucks about any of you. He descended and took the bag of bones from
He seemed to care about Kane. Like he was trying to talk to Kane.
He was trying to talk to Kane.
So he did seem to care.
Yes. Like he did not regard you as threats at this
But
point.
like but there.
But like he was trying to, the impression that Kane felt was he was being schooled.
But we matter to him for some reason.
Maybe,
Because like, why would he even talk to us?
perhaps, yeah. Perhaps. His goal here was to destroy those bones, and he did that.
Yeah.
You were there. Maybe that matters. It probably does. Yeah, the fact that he was trying to engage in conversation. So essentially, he tried to talk to Kane and got annoyed with Kane constantly pestering him.
Don't we
So
all?
instead, he just destroyed the bones and flew off instead.
Yeah.
He did what he came for. And he flew away on his giant flaming horse, which, by the way, Sindra and all of you have run into a horse that looked a lot like this horse. You guys remember when you were at the winery, the Wizard of Wines?
Yeah.
There was a toy upstairs that Sindra actually took. And it was a giant, not a giant, it was a miniature flaming horse. And it had an encarving on it that Sindra still has this horse. The encarving said Bucephalus.
Is that syphilis?
Bucephalus.
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 So the toy maker is gone.
Oh my god.
And so he rode off into the night, steaming on his flaming horse.
Okay.
After attempting to charm Kane and not succeeding, he was annoyed and decided to leave. And that's what happened.
Well, and then Zug and Ramis were
Zug and
like
Ramis
a-
were
a
like-
dramatic pose.
Very sad.
Yeah.
A weeping mess.
Okay.